Hey, hey, what's up, Yarn? Hey, Tony. Hey, Gina. Hey, Vanessa. Hey, Cindy. Tony Fire in the house. Crystal, Sly Angel, in a quandary. Uh, Gina, Cindy. I see a lot of not greens, people. We need some greens. What's up, Jessica Mom? So I promise you guys, I'm going to try not to be on too long today. If there's an echo, it's on your end because I don't have any other screens open. So, but there's a lot of things I need to address, especially with the new video that came out today. Hey, Violet. And a lot of things that were said in this video are very wrong. So let's straighten them out. Well, let me rephrase that. Nothing the creator said was wrong. It's the content of the video of somebody that was in the video that's wrong. And it could explain a lot of things. I am not a queen, so I don't get away with everything that somebody else gets away with. She just gets away with everything. And what I find funny is, though, again, this really isn't about her per se. It's about these idiots in her chat. And I don't mean her subs. I mean people like one of my biggest fucking stalkers who supplies her with all this past stuff that I've done. I don't even want to give this girl a name. I'll just call her fucking pull up so you know who I mean. Pull up toddler, pull up your diapers, pull up diaper. She supplies QB with all of this stuff about me from like 3-4 years ago while sitting in QB's chat. Bitch, sit your fat diaper ass down. You sound so fucking stupid. I can't with this. Like, I just can't. And I know she's the one supplying it because she finally found someone that promotes her. She finally found someone that likes her. Oh, yes, Ash. You're going to see in a minute. So, what's her name? Puts out a new video. And I love it. I absolutely love the video. I love the way she throws me in there. I really want to know who it is because whoever it is completely has my back. And I appreciate that. And you guys, I'm going to play. I know a lot of you guys saw it already, but hey, there's nothing wrong with seeing it twice. I know some of you guys probably haven't seen it yet. Excellent, excellent video. But I am just so sick and tired of my name getting trashed by the very people who have no problem with a liar, with a fraud, with a snake, with a grifter, all the things that they say I am, they sit in a chat of someone that obviously is. Here's the difference, though. At least I know, at least I can fucking apologize. At least I take accountability for the shit I said, unlike the ass kissers over there. I mean, it is, the whole dynamic is so dumb. One thing I do want to straighten out, though, before we even get into the drama, because I keep hearing, I heard this on Granny's Watching. I heard this for a minute on Queen Bee. I can't believe that nobody in their chats even know this. So let me state this, okay? Hold on. Let me just address Betty Pants for a minute. Betty, were you dropped on your head? Because I haven't even spoke about Queen Bee for the last, week? So please tell me why you're so stupid, like for real. If you're going to come in my chat, you need to be a little smarter and not so dumb, okay? I don't allow dumb people in my chat, so you need to go. Bye-bye. Go back to QB where you belong. Thank you. Okay. Karen, I totally agree with you, but let me just straighten this out real fast because I can't believe nobody understands this. When it comes to the three guys, the reason why Ashley Banfield is saying that she, the family can file a lawsuit, people on Granny's Watching, as well as Queen Bee, they have to understand that when it comes to wrongful death and when it comes to a wrongful death case, the 3 boys died in his house. It doesn't matter if all right, let me back up. The 3 guys died in his house. As long as the family can prove that he knew they were doing drugs, which if he's in rehab, he probably did it with him. If Jordan knew that the 3 of them were doing drugs, that's a wrongful suit. Then he died in the house. And I'm sure his lawyer is going to tell them that. If he willingly gave them the drugs, obviously that's also a lawsuit. But even though they did it willingly, if Jordan knew that they were doing drugs, Jordan's held accountable. I don't know why the law works like that, but it does. So you just have to remember that the reason, and I'm sorry I didn't stress this last night, but yeah, as long as the family can prove that either he gave it to them, not one we know already, or that he knew they were doing drugs. That is the way the law works. And that's why Ashley Banfield is saying, hey, this is so and so and so. Yeah, if he supplied the drugs, that's a given. But it's in Kansas City, it's also a law that he can sue them. The family can sue, which is why one of them pulled a lawsuit already. But the family can sue if he knew they were doing drugs in the house and they died. That's a lawsuit. So that's why there's a lawsuit going. But people would rather watch, hypocrisy over there. So, okay. Now that I gave you guys some information, now let's turn to this. No, it's actually not that absurd, though. I mean, it's a good law. I mean, if someone dies in your house, a lot of times you sue the insurance company. Example, you get into a car accident. That's why you have insurance. If you're a renter, they may sue him personally unless he had renter's insurance, which I don't think covers accidental death. But even with accidental death, you're going to sue the insurance company. Vehicular manslaughter, you're going to sue if there's no criminal charges. You're going to sue the insurance company. The homeowner is probably going to get sued because it's his house, but his insurance company will get sued. Any homeowners in here know exactly what I'm talking about. If someone dies in your house, your insurance company is going to get sued. The homeowner is not going to get sued personally because he wasn't even there, but the insurance company will get sued because it's his family. I mean, it's his home. That's just the way it is, though. That's anywhere. I'm tired. Oh my God, I can't think of this fucking channel name. No, you're staying on my lap. I love you. I love you. You guys stay on my lap so you don't bark it. All right, I know it took me a minute, but I got it. So if someone dies by their own choice, you would. All right. So let's say someone came over to my house, a little girl came to my house. Here's the best example I can give. A little girl came to my house, came in my backyard and died in my pool. And this happens in Florida a lot. Died in my pool. And I didn't even know about it. My insurance company is still getting sued. They're going to say my fence was unlocked or something. Even if I had nothing to do with it, I'm still getting sued. or my insurance company is getting sued. If Dayton has friends over and all right, so I'll use the other kids. If the twins have friends over and I willingly give them alcohol, let's say they're 25, I willingly give them alcohol, they can die. And one of them dies from a heart murmur that has nothing to do with alcohol, I can still get sued. Because my insurance company would still get sued because, and I don't own the house, but it's just the way it is. Doesn't matter if it's a grown man or not. If someone can get sued, the insurance company is going to get sued if someone dies in your house. And if you're a renter, the main owner can get sued. Unfortunately, people want accountability if somebody dies in your house. Minors, not minors. Gma, that's because nobody has a clue around here. It is scary. Truly fucking scary. I get to giving them something, but have they prove it? They don't need to prove that. This is what I was saying earlier. They don't need to prove that the homeowner gave them drugs. That's one way to do it. But what they need to prove is that he knew they were doing drugs. As long as he knew they were doing drugs, even if he didn't supply them, as long as he knew they were doing drugs, he can get sued. And the homeowner can get sued. I don't know why people don't know this. I don't know. I'm surprised that I didn't hear people talk about that because some of these people are homeowners. So I was very surprised listening over on QB. It didn't make sense to me. I'm like, how do these people are homeowners? How do they not know this? So, oh. Yes, I don't want to interrupt, but Bunny is right. That's what umbrella policies are for. That's why people have insurance. Like I said, I don't think renter's insurance covers an accidental death, but the main the homeowner of the house definitely has insurance to cover it. Would that fall under deprived heart rule or is it criminal civil? Civil. It's a civil case. It's not criminal if he knew they were doing it and didn't stop them. That's where the whole grown adults came in. They're grown adults, so it's not like giving alcohol to a minor or anything. So, yeah, if someone breaks an arm on your property, they'll go after the homeowner's insurance to pay the medical bill. Exactly. But it's the only way it's criminal is if he supplied them the drugs, he made them drugs, he made illegal drugs, all of that. But because all three of them are dead, how are they gonna prove that criminally? I'm just talking criminally. How are they gonna prove that they didn't just take them? They didn't just find him in his room and take him. All three of them are dead. There's no way to prove that. So on a personal note, I don't know if I totally believe that this will ever become criminal, but it will definitely be civil, if that makes sense. Unless there's text messages to prove otherwise on the criminal part, you would have to have beyond, just remember, even if he gets charged criminally, this goes in front of a jury. And a jury, you have to have, or you're supposed to have, beyond reasonable doubt. So they got to be able to prove beyond reasonable doubt that he supplied them with the drugs, he made the drugs. It can't be speculation. They can charge him under speculation, but it's got to pass a jury. And all you need is one juror to say, nah, this isn't criminal. Definitely civil, though. There'll be tons of lawsuits civilly. Welcome, Juanita. That's my opinion, that the civil lawsuits won't end. Accidentally is, oh, is it? I don't know. When I had renter's insurance, it only covered like $10,000. Hey, Lindsay, it only covered like $10,000 for stuff. Like, it wasn't like, homeowner's insurance that you pay X amount, and have like millions of dollars covered. So I don't have renter's insurance anymore because I thought it was like complete waste. But certain states I have to have it. In Florida, I had to have it, and I'm glad I had it. Because civilly, you don't have to prove as much. You really don't have to prove as much civilly as you do criminally. A lot of civil trials are on juries. They're for the judge, and it goes by the law. So it is quite different. Today is the first time I heard her apology, and she's lying. I never, ever, ever sent multiple emails justifying shit. I've never justified anything to her. Lindsay, but she's a queen, Lindsay. She can do whatever she wants. When we're queens, we'll be able to do what she does and get away with it. But until then, we're never going to be able to get away with it. Don't even bother. And I hate to say it, but it's true. You just have to prove culpability. Now, Lacey, like you were saying, as a homeowner, I didn't know any of this stuff until I lived in Florida. Florida has very weird rules, and my parents have an in-ground pool. And like when the kids were young, they had to put up a fence around the pool. And a lot of people did not have, like my mom's in a 55 and over community, so there wouldn't be little kids there. So they don't have a privacy fence. Their HOA doesn't allow a privacy fence because they think they're ugly. But when they first put the gate up, I was like, what is that? And they're like, well, a little kid could walk in the backyard and die. That's where I learned about all this. So don't feel like, I was talking down to you about, oh, you're a homeowner. I didn't mean it like that. I was just saying, like, I just learned all this about 15 years ago, and my parents moved to Florida. Because in New York, everybody has privacy fences. I never owned a house, never even thought about it. Thank you, Yarn. So, yeah, so I just didn't want you to take that wrong, Lacey. All right. We had a pool in Florida before we moved to Texas. We had to have that's what I'm saying. And certain HOAs in Florida won't allow you to do anything. Certain HOAs, like my parents' HOA, you can't do, you have to have, certain color house. They like watch your every move. It's crazy. Crazy. I was through text by that guy that supplied my nephew with fentanyl that killed him. Took over a year to figure out my nephew's password. I'm glad you finally got it. Okay, Lacey, I just want to make sure. Because, you were like, I'm definitely a homeowner. I was like, all right, maybe that came out wrong. So my bad. My apologies. All right. Any other questions about I was going to say the Idaho 4, the Kansas City 3? Going once, going twice. All right. Let's move on.
Highlighting Hypocrisy Episode 2. When we last listened, we heard Queen Bee say that what we showed was old stuff and it should not be brought up.
Anyhow, we're gonna let's back it up a little bit. So we're gonna go over the Brittany J stuff too, but we got some stuff we got to talk about first of all. So as y'all know, we got Cindy Sin and MEM running their little hate campaign. So y'all know what's going on. Obviously, the old videos of Aileen are getting circled around again, old messages and old text and whatever, all that old ass bullshit. Like I said,
Now, mind you, old messages from 2023, like a couple of months prior. Some the end of 2022. That's what she considers old. Okay.
If me and fucking if Dolly can see through it and he's laughing the shit off, and it, like I said, these videos are fucking old. So if it's old, it's like an old ass video.
I also want to know, because I really don't watch QB. I don't look at her titles and stuff. Please tell me where she has any clout calling Brittany J a scammer from December 19th. The woman has raised close to $50,000 for like a $25,000 lawsuit. And she's talking about scamming. Okay.
And the shit's already played out and it's done and over with. Do you really think you're gonna fucking shake up a bunch of shit? The only people that's gonna affect are people who really have no idea what's going on.
Go through all this weird shit, just be like, deuces, I don't like you anymore. And it's so stupid because like, it is fucking old. That situation was fucking old. And it was brought back up. It was a fight that was already fought. It was accountability already fucking taken.
Captain Napton says accountability was taken. Have you heard this? Or is Captain suffering from stock hive syndrome? Queen Bee says don't talk about old things. Leave the past in the past.
Actually have to participate in her own panel for us to determine if it was her. Like I haven't been talking this entire time. You see how goofy and fucking clownish this dumbass is? Girl, why don't you go get beat on by your boyfriend some more? Shut your ass up.
Like,
here goes Lindsay Lee back in the comments again, running her mouth. I don't see you correcting shit. Right?
No, she's not.
Okay, right. Do you like your comments read out? I don't think your sub's appreciated at all. I can tell you that right now because I got about 4 emails so far already.
PURPLEXEDQT went live and gave her opinions on the DV speech. Queen Bee.
I just want to say, in your own words, this made me giggle. It made me laugh. It made me just love you 10 times more. And that's why this live is happening, so I can explain. But I want to thank you, and you guys will know when you hear this.
B had given. Before you comment me in the comments, this is not about vile things Perplexed has said in the past. This video is about what Queen Bee said this week.
As y'all know, Laura, of course, is running her mouth. So we'll deal with that first. So Laura, you of course have to insert yourself like the biggest giant tampon we've ever seen, right? You got something you want to say and you think I don't need to be speaking on certain situations? Okay, well, let me see here. I'm going to play.
Queen Bee, I do have a question for you. Why are you so insecure about me? Because you're constantly comparing things I say. You can insert yourself into anything, right? Because you're a queen. You can insert yourself, but nobody else can. Let me just clear this up for you, okay? Lindsay Lee has been a sub of mine for a long time. She did not come from you. I believe she came from Granny's Watching from like 4 years ago, 3 years ago. So when you say something like that, I am absolutely going to call it out and get involved. Thank you, Lacey. Laura's mentioned in every single live. But let's carry on. And if I'm not mentioned Lacey, she just does what I did the night before. Like, I'll do a story, she'll do the same thing the next day. Bitch, sit down.
A few of your clips so that your supporter Joneson can see. I mean, let me see. Do we remember this one? Hold on, let's see. Let me pull this one first. I didn't even want to have to do this because it really wasn't all that serious. But I'm gonna correct you first, and then I'm gonna move on to what I need to talk about. So here's another one. Let's see. Let's put this one up real quick. Okay, here we go.
I don't remember a lot of shit that I say. A lot of shit comes right out.
Okay, let me point something out though. Okay. Lindsay, is that where you found me from Granny's Watching a couple of years ago? But here's my thing here. All right. One, this was Christmas, I think 3 years ago. I think 3 years ago. Because I remember when I had that picture and I see Christmas in the background. So this must have been 2020. I remember who gave me the hat too, and she hasn't been with me for like 2 years. So I would like to know from tampon lady over there why she's comparing what I said here to what she does. Are you another one who's trying to be me? What the hell does this have to do with you? I don't get it. I think it's another person who wants to wear my skin for whatever reason. I don't know. It's definitely not about views and money. But if someone can really logically explain to me what the fuck my speech right here has to do with her, I'm all ears.
And people know that about me.
Oh, a lot of shit just slides right out of your fucking mouth, does it? Does it, Laura?
I don't, how do I say this right? I don't say things to please other people. I say things that either is an opinion that I feel. I used to say a disclaimer before I went live. So now I'm going to put a disclaimer every single time I go live and say, hey, here's my disclaimer. My disclaimer is that I may say something to offend you. I may say something that you take personally.
Okay, so you may say something that somebody might take personal. You may say something that's really gnarly. You may say something that you shouldn't be saying, right? You want to put a disclaimer with your stuff?
Was that like her way of apologizing through me? Logically, what the fuck did I say that has anything to do with her scenario? Like, I don't get it. If I mean this honestly, I'm pretty smart. I'm intelligent. I'm street smart. I have logic. And I can't for the life of me figure out why she played that thinking that that's her. The only logical thing I can come up with is that she's apologizing through my words. I don't know. I don't get it. I honestly do not understand. Maybe someone can help me out with that.
Okay. Here's another one. This is from a year ago. This is Hartley.
What's good for the goose is good for the gander, right?
Y'all know what's going on. Obviously, the old videos of a text and whatever, all that old ass bullshit.
But wait, this is old stuff, right?
Subscribe. I don't know why I wasn't subscribed. But yeah, it's heartbreaking.
This is Life Perplexed on DV Situation. Since you want to sit over there and run your mouth on how you feel and you want to try to butter up and coddle some ass.
Flashback to how Queen Bee feels.
Time. You see how goofy and fucking clownish this dumbass is? Girl, why don't you go get beat on by your boyfriend some more? Shut your ass up.
Roll that beautiful bee footage.
Here, let's play this.
But yet, you have all these people. Let's call out Laura. Let's worry about something Laura said 3 years ago. Let's make Laura the.
This is a year ago.
Did she say a year ago? Isn't that old shit? Let's hear from Captain again.
So stupid. Because like, it is fucking old. That situation was fucking old.
And actually, while we're coming straight out the fucking gate, matter of fact, Laura, let me ask you this. Shannon Uncensored.
Hold on. You guys see, this got a little twisted. She's playing a video from a year ago. But if you listen to the video, what I said was, why am I being called out for stuff from 3 years ago? Shannon Uncensored, I have not spoken to since 2019. Literally 2019. This video was from Harley may have, said this video a year ago, but in this specific video, I said point out blank, why am I being called out for stuff I said 3 years ago? So she just played that. So I'm held accountable, which is what I said in this Hartley video from 3 years prior to a year. That would make it 4 years ago. Exactly, Yarn. Who is Shannon Uncensored? You got that right. 4 years ago, I'm being held for something I don't even know what it was. But that was the point of what she just played. But all of these idiots in her chat think differently. All the morons in her chat think I said something a year ago. No, bitch, it was 4 years ago. 4. Not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 years ago. Wake up.
Uncensored, right? Shannon Uncensored from 4 or 5 years ago. She left.
Did she say 4 or 5 years ago? Is that old shit? Let's ask Queen Bee, are these videos old?
These videos are fucking old. So would she come back? But you told her to go get her ass beat by her man, right? You told her, go get fucked up, go get your ass beat by your man. But you have.
Does that sound similar to what Queen Bee said? Let's listen again.
Girl, why don't you go get beat on by your boyfriend some more? Shut your ass up.
Shit out. And this shit is what needs to get called out.
Yeah, because guess what? Let me tell you something. I stand with all DV survivors and victims, all of them. So, as I'm live yesterday, going over Jones's review of my review, there is someone in the chat, Lindsay Lee. I've had issues with Lindsay Lee for the last probably year and a half, running her mouth. And every single time she does, or every single time she gets caught, she comes to me and says, oh, I got into a fight with my man. Oh, my man did this. Oh, my man did this. He did this. I won't go into details.
Is Queen Bee releasing private information? Should she have been sharing this private information because of an opinion in a chat?
And I'm not going to show the fucking emails, but let me tell you something right now. Was it shitty of me to say that to you? Absolutely it was. Was it shitty of you to use that as an excuse to run your fucking mouth and talk shit to me? Yes, it absolutely was.
Here's the difference between me and her, okay? I will take accountability. But another difference, most of the things that I have said, most of the things that I have gone after people wasn't because they made some kind of shitty comment. No, it was not that she made a shitty comment. Lily Eve, I've already apologized 4 years ago. I will never apologize twice. Why don't you go tell her to apologize? Don't come in my chat bringing up shit from 4 fucking years ago. There was a reason I said it, and it wasn't because she left me a comment. Okay? She betrayed me. And at first I thought they were talking about Shannon, Savage Shannon. And I was like, I never fucking said anything, Shannon. But then I thought about it. And listening to it again, Shannon Uncensored. You don't know the shit Shannon did. It wasn't a comment. It wasn't a comment like, oh, she wasn't on panel. So do me a favor, take your righteous bullshit somewhere else because you're never going to fucking get that from me. Ever. I am one of the only creators that does take accountability when I'm wrong. I will also apologize when I'm wrong. Unlike all these deflectors, here's another thing I do, which I've stressed this again, and I will say this again. I am so sick and tired of idiots like you coming in my chat, and yes, I called you an idiot, with this total nonsense bullshit while you go buy memberships and give money to someone like QB. Stay the fuck out of my chat. Bye-bye. Where are you? There you go. Bye-bye. Go spread your bullshit somewhere else. Yes, Queen Bee is blaming you for what she said about you. She sure is. Because you can't speak to a queen. You're not allowed to speak to a queen like that. But just remember, if you want to get her attention, you can do it one of two ways. You can either buy her attention, or you can talk smack about her in Jones Inn's Live. Those are the only two ways she's going to notice your attention. That's the only two ways you're going to get it. So keep feeding her. Keep justifying her behavior. Keep showing her that her behavior is spot on. You guys make me sick. I don't mean you guys. I mean the people over there. And then you're going to come in here with some righteous bullshit? Get the fuck out. Bye-bye. Don't let door hit you in the ass on the way out. Oh, that's another thing. Nah, I'm not going to go there yet. Let's finish. I digress.
Queen Bee says she used this as an excuse to run her mouth. Is this victim blaming?
No, two wrongs don't make a right. But Laura, I'm going to tell you something right now. Bitch, you ain't got no fucking reason to sit up on no fucking high horse talking to shit about shit when you have said all kinds of nasty shit to people.
A, why are you comparing yourself to me, QB? Are you that fucking insecure? You get triple my numbers. You make triple the money. Why do you keep comparing yourself to me? Obviously, I'm doing something right because I get under your skin like no other. And I'm just curious why. I really am. Is that your insecurity? Shit, you're scamming thousands upon thousands of dollars. So please tell me why you're so intimidated by me. What am I that you want to be? Because I can't think of it. I really can't. Exactly, Yarn. I don't deny the things I've said. I own the shit I've said to every single person I've said it to. I got no problem owning my shit. But that's not what people want around here. People will pay you to lie. People pay you to scam. People pay you to not be accountable. She's making money hand over fist over it. Hand over fist. For not taking accountability, for lying, for all of it. It's fucking crazy. She is triggered by me. That's what I'm saying. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get her subs. I don't get her followers. I just don't. And I wouldn't even care if these idiots didn't make money. I'm sorry, not make money. If these idiots weren't making videos of me from 4 years ago, that's my issue. My issue isn't Queen Bee. She speaks volumes about how insecure she is about me. That's okay. I don't care about that. I don't care if she makes more money or anything else. But when the idiots in her chat who love her to death, who promote her, are pulling up videos of me from 4 years ago, stating how awful I am. She does the same fucking thing now, and they support it. That's my issue. And I guess people can't understand that. If these idiots in her chat, like Pull Up Diapers, did not constantly make videos about me, did not, I mean, I'm talking obsessively. If she stopped and all these fucking morons in her chat stopped, I wouldn't say a word about QB. Let her do her thing. I could really care less. But the fact that they're sitting there coming at me for 4 years ago, but are okay with her now, that's my problem. I am sick and tired of my fucking name being bashed over and over and over for absolutely nothing. And these same motherfucking people sit in her chat and feed her money. Sit the fuck down. That is how I feel. That is where my issues lie. And that is what gets me so fucking frustrated. You have all of these assholes including, and I'm going to name off a list, including Wispy, Alicia, Sapphire, who else? Wendy, Randy, Granny's watching, TT. Those are ones I can think of off the top of my head. Have no issues with, all right, I shouldn't have put Granny's watching because she doesn't talk about me, but have no issues with what QB says, but have to talk about me over and over and over again. But they then go on QB, hi, you're so wonderful. Sit your fake fucking asses down. Keep my fucking name out of your filthy ass mouths because you guys are gross. You guys are fucking followers. You're pathetic. You're phonies. You're frauds. You're fucking losers. But, oh, and I forgot JP. We forgot JP. And I don't give a fuck about QB, what QB does, nothing. I really don't. But when you guys are going to fucking talk about me over and over and over again, but let her go, but you're only going to bring up stuff from 4 years ago, you can suck it. And you could suck it fucking hard. Like, suck it so hard that it's jammed down your throat and you fucking choke. That's how I feel. And these people are so fucking dumb, they don't even get it. These people are so fucking stupid that they're okay with everything the queen does. Because if you justify the queen's behavior, why should she change? Why should she change? She doesn't need to change. She doesn't need to apologize. All of these assholes have no fucking problem with her. They got no problem with the shit she says. She's the queen. She is the queen. Sit the fuck down. Tyler, get the fuck out of here. Nobody cares about your opinion. You want to give me your opinion, you're going to have to pay me. Other than that, bye-bye. I'm not even going to block you. I'm going to make you pay me for me to even answer yourself, to even answer you. I'm just so sick and tired. Here's another thing. Comments. I have always been respectful to my subs. Always. I have always read comments, answer comments, there for my subs all the time. That's not what people want anymore. People want you to completely fucking ignore them. Completely ignore them. And it's crazy to me. So now, I told you guys a long time ago, I guess I'm just going to fucking ignore people because that seems to be what people want. It absolutely seems to be what people want. Just ignore me. I'll pay you to notice me. I never, ever, ever wanted to be like that, but that's where it's at because that's what everyone seems to want. And it's fucking crazy to me. This whole mentality is crazy to me. This whole fucking, oh, you got to ignore me. Let me have people on panel. I don't even need to sit on my fucking panel. I don't even need to sit on my panel. I'll just have other people do my panel. It's fucking ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And everything she says, oh, it was a joke. I'm going to get to that next.
There's
Is fucking old. That situation was fucking old.
3 fucking examples right fucking there, back to back, okay?
The worker bees got busy saying Queen Bee apologized. Was this an apology? Did she take accountability for what she said? Why was Queen Bee bringing up old shit? Hypocrisy.
Okay, now moving on. Hey, Joy. Now moving on to my second video, which I can't go through the whole thing. It's like 3 hours. We're going to have to do it in parts, and I'm going to speed through a lot of it. But I found this interesting. And someone that claims to be a moral authority, somebody that claims to be intelligent, made me fucking crack up last night. I'm sorry, but you are an LOL cow. You are. And I'm talking about burnt toast. And I'm going to show you guys why. I understand that burnt toast does not like Betty. I get it. I totally get it. Totally get it. But some of the things she was saying last night blew my mind. I was listening to it like 2:30 in the morning. You can't let your hate for someone misjudge what's right in front of you. And I could not believe what I was hearing out of burnt toast. Now, mind you, I don't listen to burnt toast much, but I do like the way she's handled this lawsuit up until last night. I think she's a bit obsessed and a little too giddy over this lawsuit. Like, it's weird. And if anybody else was raising this kind of money and saying these horrible things, why would burnt toast not call it out? Imagine if I had this lawsuit and I was saying these heinous things to people, subs no less, and then burnt toast would make excuses for it. Burnt toast wouldn't make fucking excuses for it. She'd be calling that shit out in 2 seconds. 2 seconds. But I understand her hate for Betty trumps anything that QB says and does. I can even see if she called her out and said, separate from the lawsuit, but then I would have respect for her. But now, no. Wait till you guys hear this. I don't know who the fuck she thinks she's kidding. And I was really disappointed. And again, let me just state 15,000 subs. She's calling out LOL cows. She's calling them out because that's her channel. 15,000 subs, has yet to do one fundraiser, but she's not here for money. Tell me why she can't do a fundraiser during this whole Betty thing. I'll tell you why, because she makes money. That's why. That's the only reason. But she's not an LOL cow. Oh yeah, you are, burnt toast. You've crossed that line. All right. So I can show you guys. I got to 1 hour and 51 minutes then I stopped listening because then I went to bed. But yeah, it's pretty bad. Yeah, she's making major money with thousands of views. She made almost 6,000 views on this. Channel memberships, almost 800 likes. We all know Betty is not liked. Okay? We all know this. But I still want to know how somebody who claims to be Miss Righteous, you're going to call out your moral authority. You're going to call this one out. You're going to call that one out. Why don't you do a fundraiser? If you're not here for money, then just why not do a fundraiser? I don't get it. 15,000 subs, you can do a YouTube fundraiser with all this money that your subs bring in. But no, that's too good for you. You can't do that. Amazing. Another one that people see blindly. No, she's not buying views. She's got 1,000 people in her chat. Talking about I need more money for deposit. Yep. And burnt toast got no problem with it. Just keep feeding her money.
some sort of psychotic break. I'm not being facetious. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm legit saying that this reads like somebody who is paranoid to the point where they should probably be in a mental home.
Okay, one, that was a fucked up statement to begin with. Betty is frustrated. I don't even speak to Betty and I know how she feels. Betty is frustrated and Betty is in over her fucking head. Betty is too narcissistic to walk away now. But the point is that Betty absolutely is probably writing because she's way over her head, way over her head. But to say that she belongs in a mental institution, now I didn't hear the whole thing, but burnt toast, you're 100% wrong.
And I'm not shaming that. I'm just saying I don't understand why her family does not step in at this point. It's none of my business what they do or don't do. That's on them. But this does not read like a sane person. And when we get into it, you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about.
And I do know what she's talking about. I do. I get what she's saying. But if someone is in over their head and they have no idea what they're doing, they're going to say things that are fucked up. But considering how far Betty has gone, she's not doing so bad. The amount of time it takes to do this shit, like I was fighting for my kid. When I became my own attorney and I fought some hardcore attorneys, I was fighting for my child. So yeah, I'm going to put the work in, but I had to quit a full-time job to become my own lawyer full-time. I did. So, you know, it's very easy to point out Betty's doing this or Betty's doing that, but can you blame her?
Thank you, Happy Life. I appreciate that. So yeah, let's get right into it. She says, comes now, plaintiff Bullhorn Betty, acting as pro se in this action, files this response to plaintiff's response to reply in support of Queen Bee's motion to dismiss under 2619.1 of the Code of Civil Procedure for grounds stated as follows. Okay. Right. Okay. I love how she just makes up names. Okay. Background. On or about October 18th, 2023, Bullhorn Betty served Queen Bee with an amended complaint alleging defamation, tortious interference with business perspective, economic advantage, intentional infliction of emotional distress, civil conspiracy and concert of action, negligence, and unjust enrichment. Queen Bee has caused damages to BHB for over a year. Stop right there. So suddenly she's now changing her story because
now, in all fairness, Burnt Toast is kind of right. Betty, you can't change your length of time this far into it. You just can't. So I agree with her. Hey, Grandma Sherry, I agree with her here. But the premise of what Betty is saying, she's 100% right about. She has been harassed. And for everyone to act like she was not harassed, oh, yes, she was. She was absolutely fucking harassed by Burnt Toast, by Queen Bee, by Queen Bee's mods, by Queen Bee's followers. She absolutely was. And it has been over a year, exactly. But in the other one, she said like 2 years, like you can't switch on dates. So I understand what she's saying here.
Lots of previous filings, including her amended complaint and her original complaint, she's been saying this entire time that it's been 2 years or over 2 years. Now she's saying it's over a year. And then I think later in this document, she says it's only 1 year. So already she is contradicting herself multiple times in this document. So either she's lying under oath here or she's lying under oath in those previous documents. Which is it?
It doesn't mean she's lying under oath. What it means is when she first filed this, it was, I'm sorry, when she first filed this, she said 2 years. On this point, she's saying over a year, thinking October. It was a year from October. I don't know what Betty's thinking, but this is insane.
She says BHB did nothing to justify this outrageous and detrimental campaign of bullying, stalking, harassment, and other damages that Queen Bee knowingly inflicted on BHB for no other purpose than to cause damage to BHB for monetary and other gains and or benefits realized by Queen Bee. So it's another, like,
that is absolutely 150% true. You can't argue that. This is 100% true. Queen Bee and her followers have done exactly that to Betty. Exactly.
copy, repeat, like copy paste from other filings, still not being specific. BHB has alleged, among other issues, that Queen Bee has conspired and communicated with others through private chats such as Discord and other similar sites to elicit help with Queen Bee's campaign of harassment, cyberstalking, bullying, and intimidation to receive financial compensation to damage BHB personally, professionally, financially, and to remove BHB from the YouTube platform.
That is exactly how this went down. Betty is 100% right here. When my thinking, and I could be wrong, but my thinking behind it, look at Aileen. Everything with Aileen was done behind the scenes. Aileen was Aileen hooked up with Queen Bee when she went down to Georgia. Okay. Beth, let me say, I don't care who Betty harasses. That has nothing to do with the lawsuit. Then the families need to sue. Harassing Betty because you believe that she's harassing a family, will never hold up in court, ever. They don't cross. They have nothing to do with each other. You're not the righteous police. And that's what seems to be getting lost.
So already she's removed one of these because it used to be personally, professionally, financially, and spiritually. I guess she's now taking that out. Sure. Okay. On or about November 2nd, 2023, defendant Queen Bee filed a motion to dismiss the amended complaint citing conflicting law, which is at issue in this matter. Thank you, Ansi. Welcome to the dumpster fire. Wow. Oh, thank you, Ellen. I appreciate that. My name is in this new filing. Should I be worried? No, you have nothing to worry about, Petunia. Everybody's name, Bullhorn Betty.
Welcome, Grandma Sherry.
His name and everybody who was mentioned in this, all of it was redacted. She's only doing that to intimidate subs who don't have channels, and she's doing that because she's a bully punk ass bitch. That's why she did it. So don't worry about it. Okay, she can't do anything to you. So I just want to let you know there's no reason to worry if you were.
Okay, Burnt Toast, you're wrong. You are 100% wrong. I absolutely understand what Burnt Toast is saying, but a judge can change their mind at any given time. A judge can decide, well, you know what? I think I like this Betty chick. I want to see all these people in court. I want to subpoena all these people. You can't say she has absolutely nothing to worry about. We don't know. Does she most likely have nothing to worry about? Absolutely. And I agree with her there. However, there is never a definite when it comes to court. There's never, and she says this multiple times. No, Burnt Toast, you should not say that. You should say the odds of you having anything to do with this are slim to none. But it's possible with a very, very small margin, just a really small margin. It's possible that the judge can say, well, we've come this far. Yeah, I want to see their stuff, or I can hear their stuff. And then she's going to come back on you and be like, you told me I had nothing to worry about. And your response is going to be, well, I'm not an attorney, but blah, blah, blah. So just be careful the way you say stuff. My advice.
Your name is in here because only a punk ass bitch would be picking on subs and putting them in a court document knowing that they cannot defend themselves, and she's up in here doxing all these people. It only, again, helps Queen.
Okay, putting somebody in a court document is not doxing. All right, adding someone to a case is not doxing them. So we don't know who they are. Nobody knows who they are. So yeah, that's not doxing.
Queen Bee, because it's real-time examples of her abusive process and using the court to bully people as a weapon. So once again, thank you for self-snitching, you dumb bitch. I love it. Fantastic. She says, on or about December 29th, 2023, the defendant filed 2 motions. 1, reply in support of Queen B's motion to dismiss under 22619-1.1 of the Code of Civil Procedure, and 2, memorandum in opposition to Bullhorn Betty's motion to dismiss first amended counterclaims. Thank you, Forgotten Whispers, for 7 months. I really appreciate that. Can we drop Queen B's legal fund? Yes, if there's a new link, feel free to drop that, since it bothers her so very much.
If there's a new link, yes, we can drop it. We'll just keep dropping and stealing money from everybody for a lawsuit that has not even come close to $30,000 yet. But QB sure paid back her loan real quick, didn't she? She sure as fuck did. And now she's just sitting in the profits and just keeps making more. But you keep sticking up for this, Burn Toast, because this is what you do.
Alpha 24, get the 1 membership. Thank you so much. Silver Turtle Lady, welcome. The reply she was supposed to file was 4 pages, LOL. This useless document she filed the same day was 54 pages. Talk about skewed priorities. Exactly. So the one that she was supposed to do, she threw together, and it was just kind of, I remember reading it and thinking, that's it? That's like your whole response? And then she didn't even like respond to the counterclaim. And then she poured her heart and soul and possibly, spilled some boxed wine on this 54, 53 page monstrosity. Okay. I think BHB thinks if she puts these people in there that they will have to be deposed. She can think that, but that.
Look, I'm going to call this out. I'm going to say this right now. Hey, Megan, I am never going to blame QB for her idiot subs. If I ask you guys over and over and over for a super chat, you don't have to give it to me. But I can keep asking, and someone's eventually going to cave. And that's my point. I'm not going to blame QB for being a hustler and asking, but the subs need to wake the fuck up. But they don't. They don't.
That's not the case. This is a civil case, not a criminal one. She does not have jurisdiction to subpoena anyone. In fact, she doesn't even have the authority to do that. She's not a DA, and she's not law enforcement. That's not a thing. She does have the right to depose people if she wants, but those people can decline, including some of her own former friends that are, I'm hearing, not going to be helping her. Good luck with that. So yes, you do not have to comply because you are not being sued. The only 2 people that have to comply to the judge's orders are Queen, her lawyer, and Bullhorn Betty.
Thank you, Grandma Sherry. Covered. First one. All right, now we need a second one. We need a second super chat.
So, like, for instance, she names me over 30 times in this document. Over 30 times. So she named Blank Screen. She names a whole bunch of people in here. Go ahead and do what you need to do, girl, but you can't depose people just for a fishing expedition. It's not going to be allowed. Addie and me wants.
And that's another one. Don't say it's not going to be allowed because you don't know. The odds are it's not going to be allowed. Thank you, Lacey. Can we get a third one? But you see what I'm saying? Like, she's putting words out there like absolute. You can't do that, Burn Toast. You don't know. You don't know what the judge is going to do. You don't know if they're going to subpoena. I mean, I doubt they are. Like, the odds are like a bazillion to 1. But it could happen. It could happen. It's possible it's going to happen.
To know if the judge continues case at all or if she ends up getting deposed. I have no idea. I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not in the mind of the judge. But again, like someone said earlier, this trash pile right here is one of those things that could very well tip the scale from the judge being sympathetic to her because she's pro se to saying, you know what? Fuck this bitch. I've given her chance after chance after chance. I've given her a lot of grace. I've given her extra time. And this is what she does. Because again, she threatens the judge in this as well. She is between the proverbial rock and hard place. LOL. She needs a lawyer, but that's not going to happen. I agree. She 100%. If she had counsel, he would be like, no, don't you. This is a bad idea. Don't post this. But it's always fun to see a Karen do her thing and then find out, which is what's going to happen. I mean, that's where we're headed now. She's made her road. And
thank you, to Texan. All right, now we need a 4. We need a 4th super chat. Woo woo.
It's just a matter of time before we get to the end of it. Thank you, Kev. So she says, this is her introduction. All defendants.
Scorpio, you should hear it when it's on normal speed. I totally agree with you. I don't know why she's so giddy over this, why she's so excited over it. It's creepy.
Defendant. Okay. Again, so there's a lot of errors in here. Okay. All defendant had to do, instead of saying all the defendant had to do, was answer plaintiff's first amended complaint, FAC, but instead filed an improper pleading, entitling BHB to judgment by default. Okay. She's not entitled to that. So another theme that you're going to see is she keeps repeating this over and over and over. Like she genuinely thinks that she can just tell the judge, you know what, judge, I'm so tired of this. I'm going to win. So just give me what I want because I deserve to win. It's like, girl, no, that's not how
Welcome, Mac.
any of this works. Did her original channel come back? It's never gone anywhere. She wasn't able to use it because it had copyright strikes on it, but it's still there as of today when I checked. Her channel's still there. She probably can't go live on it because of the copyright strikes. She says the defense knowingly filed improper pleading. You mean improper? Okay. The defense knowingly filed this improper pleading and the subsequent pleadings to take the opportunity to misrepresent facts before this honorable court. So now you are accusing the lawyer of felonies. Wow. That is certainly.
Okay. This aggravated me. This has nothing to do with fucking the lawyer doing illegal things. Talk about spinning stuff. No, burnt toast. This is standard law shit. Lawyers accuse, this is like standard wording. I'm sure she took it from another lawyer's thing. She's not trying to accuse anybody. This is standard wording, like wording 101 for a lawyer.
The way to win over the judge. That's great, Betty. Thank you, Petunia. Welcome to Dumpster Fire. I appreciate that. She's ridiculous, yet claims to know the law, right? You just wait. She says, and Queen Bee's audience for profit, which is exactly the benefit Queen Bee is reaping. All the while, the defense counsel is grandstanding with the pleading filed on behalf of Queen Bee and at Queen Bee's express consent. So here she's flat out accusing the lawyer of essentially embezzlement. She's accusing the lawyer of lying to the court on purpose to make money.
Every single lawyer writes stuff like that. Go read some motions. Go read motions that are similar to this. They all do this. This is standard wording.
For profit. Right. Betty, pro tip, don't slander a lawyer because he can do all of these.
Again, burnt toast. Nobody is slandering a lawyer. This is standard lawyer talk. Legalese, whatever it's called. This is standard. Because I can assure you, Betty did not make this stuff up. Betty went to another lawsuit that's similar and copy and pasted. Just copy and pasted.
These things for himself for free. All he'll have to do is pay for the guy or woman to stand in court to represent him before the judge. He doesn't actually have to pay all the money for all this stuff to do because he can file all of this shit himself, Betty. Okay. She says BHB has maintained certain facts and those facts have not changed since the onset of this action, but they have because she is continuing to change the story. She says BHB is only required to allege that Queen Bee targeted BHB for an unknown reason, stalked and kept BHB under surveillance online and offline, started a defamation campaign, sought out others to help Queen Bee, and Queen Bee's campaign of harassment, and then turned up the heat and started targeting BHB to have BHB arrested and removed from the YouTube platform. Okay.
If someone can point out where that's not true, let me know, because that's exactly true. And that's what I'm saying. I was listening to this last night at like 2 a.m. and I was getting so aggravated. I'm like, all of that is true, though. Forget whether you like Betty or not. That is true. She's not lying.
She's divorced from reality if she actually believes any of this. Exactly. So either she is just a pathological liar and she is saying these things thinking that it's going to work, but she doesn't actually believe it. Because if she actually believes it, there's something wrong with her. Like needs to go to a hospital and be under the care of medical professionals. Because there's no way somebody who is in the right state of mind is going to write the things that she writes in this document and then be like, oh yeah, that's totally a sane thing. Like this stuff that she says in here is not it's unhinged. Fairy Meadows gifted a membership. Welcome, Deborah Ann. Thank you. Welcome to the Dumpster Fire. She really thinks that she can outlaw an actual lawyer, right? Or the judge at this point, apparently. She thinks she's above the law. Yes, I do. I definitely think that she thinks that. Atomic Karen. We at Karen and Karen believe that BHB is entitled to file whatever.
Oh, I know somebody else who thinks they're above the law too. Just saying.
She wishes. The judge is merely a glorified manager. You know what, Atomic Karen? You are so right. This is an embarrassment.
Thank you, sweet one. I think that's your first super chat ever. Thank you. Yes, buy more can. I actually just got boxes.
It for real is. I would. This is beyond, like, this right here is beyond just being a Karen. This is somebody who has lost all touch with reality. Somebody who is so fucking paranoid that I am fearful what they might do to themselves or others. She's like, let's see. She says, this has been alleged from the initiation of this lawsuit, among other issues alleged in the FAC. Bullhorn Betty believes the real issue is the defense does not want to listen to the vile and damaging commentary of Queen Bee. So once again, accusing the lawyer of knowingly suppressing evidence.
Wrong. That is not what she's saying. Queen Bee's lawyer admitted that he had not read that stuff. He had not listened to that stuff, and he doesn't have to listen to that stuff. Lacey, it's the peach nectar or peaches and pearls. Peaches and pearls is the peach nectar. I changed the names and I forget. Yeah, peaches and pearls. You see what I'm saying though? Like, that's Queen Bee's lawyer admitted that that he hasn't listened to the stuff, and he doesn't have to. Honestly, my lawyer didn't listen to shit. And I was like, how could you not listen? He goes, I don't care. So the lawyer doesn't have to listen, but nobody's accusing the lawyer of doing stuff. She's basing this on what the lawyer said.
Girl, are you okay? Are you okay? She says, those tortious actions afforded BHB a 6-count complaint alleging defamation, tortious interference with business perspective economic advantage, intentional infliction of emotional distress, civil conspiracy and concert of action, negligence, and unjust enrichment. All documents, audio, and visual aids attached to the FAC may be used in this matter. So this notion defense does not want to do the work, is not at issue with the plaintiff. BHB has overwhelming evidence related to all counts asserted in the FAC, has a strong prima facie case, and all counts and comes before this court in good faith. It seems that Bullhorn Betty thinks that the lawyer is supposed to work for her. Okay, wow. Okay, Betty, when you make a claim, the burden is on you.
That's not how I read that at all. But what Burnt Toast says now, she's 100% right. 100% right. Betty expects the lawyer, QB's lawyer, to go through various stuff and point stuff out. That's stupid. Where Burnt Toast, I agree with 1,000% right here, that it's up to Betty to provide the actual screenshots, the actual proof, and then give it to them. But BHB is so narcissistic, she thinks that, hey, I think the lawyer should go through everything. No, that's not the way it works. The lawyer's not going to go through shit. You have to point it out. That's like telling a judge, go find your own case law. No, the lawyer has to point out case law. That's why you put case law in motions. You put it in there. The judge doesn't need to look for it. It's right there. Thank you, Love Wins.
You to do that work. It is not the judge's job or his clerk's job. It is not the lawyer's job. It is not Queen Bee's job. It is not anybody else's job to come up with exact quotes, dates, times, all that stuff, the details. That is.
Thank you, SoFlo. 5 memberships. Woo woo.
Your job. You're the one who decided to start this lawsuit bullshit, and you're the one who decided to do this pro se. You are
actually barking at the moon. This all could have been avoided if QB would have kept her fucking mouth shut and stopped harassing people. Then it could have all been avoided. I don't blame Betty. What I blame Betty for is being an idiot, but I don't blame Betty for filing. Betty is not wrong. What she is wrong about is she's not smart enough to pull this off. That's the problem. Hey, Sinner.
Responsible to do the work. You're the ones making all these claims. It is your responsibility to do all of that. Later in this document, she starts complaining about how overwhelming and confusing it is for her to find exact quotes. then maybe you should not have done this to begin with. She says, Queen Bee has done nothing but misrepresent issues before the court. Queen Bee should concede that there is no defense. So she just says, you know what? Queen Bee should just give up and be like, I have no defense. That is not how any of this works, my friend. Queen Bee should concede that there is no defense that can be raised to justify such tortious, malicious, and willful conduct displayed publicly by Queen Bee for over a year. So instead of it being now over 2 years, now it's just over a year. Okay. So this makes her look very desperate because all of her settlement offers were declined. Here's the thing.
Now, where Queen Bee is in over her head is right here. I'm sorry, not Queen Bee. Betty is in over her head is right here. And I have to stress, I agree with Burnt Toast here 1,000%. It is Betty's job to pull those receipts. It's on nobody else to do it. It's on Betty. I keep getting them confused. It's on Betty to do it and nobody else.
If she truly believed that Queen Bee had no defense and that Bullhorn Betty, that like she just got this in the bag and she's going to win, then why is she begging to settle? That is not the actions of someone who thinks that they're going to win a slam dunk case. Right. She goes on to say, how can opposing counsel have no knowledge of facts in the public forum and public domain, more specifically on opposing counsel's client's YouTube channel? According to Illinois law and licensing regulations, law practitioners are required to investigate the allegations and facts surrounding any defense. So now she's attacking the lawyer's law license.
She's not attacking a law license. She is putting in standard shit. This is standard legal wording.
This is going to go over swimmingly for her, I'm sure. Wow. Okay. Because states take this very seriously.
No, they don't. She's not saying anything that every single defamation case does. Think up just to prove my point. What is the one thing that you always get in an appeal? Always. Every time a criminal defense files an appeal, what's the one thing they say? Inaccurate counsel. I forgot the right word all of a sudden. Ineffective counsel. That's what it is. Ineffective counsel means a lawyer didn't do their job, the lawyer this, the lawyer that. If what Burnt Toast was saying was true, that, oh, this is an attack on, no, then ineffective counsel is an attack on every single lawyer. This is standard legalese. There's nothing special about what Betty is writing. There's nothing attacking what Betty's writing. You can pull up any defamation case, and I guarantee you're going to see the exact same wording. So, again, Burnt Toast is hyping people up to make more money.
License is taken very seriously. You allege.
Thank you, SoulFlow.
Something that a lawyer has done saying that he should have his law license revoked or taken away or whatever. You are not only attacking his license, you're attacking his career. You're attacking any future career.
Okay, let's not get too over dramatic here. Nobody's attacking anything. This is so over dramatic for money. It's crazy. I think that was 5, so we need 6. Super chat 6 coming up.
That he may have in this regard. So, wow. She says, under Illinois Supreme Court Rule 3.1, a lawyer shall not bring or defend a proceeding or assert or convert an issue therein unless there is a basis in law and fact for doing so that is not frivolous, which includes a good faith argument for an extension, modification, or reversal of existing law. If she is accusing the lawyer of breaking the Supreme Court rule, she better have proof. Because at this point, I'm like, how long before the lawyer is going to be like, okay, you know what, bitch? The second that I'm done with Queen Bee's case and done with you, now I'm going to sue you for coming after my career. I'm not saying that he's going to do that. I don't know him, never spoken to him. But at a certain point, if she keeps poking, that could possibly be what happens. I'm assuming in her previous lawsuit, she successfully bullied her opponents to settle to protect themselves. Some she voluntarily dismissed it because she said that basically her goal was to make them, quote, a little nutty. And then after, I guess, she got her fill of whatever, like, fucked up, like, whatever high she got from fucking them over, then she dismissed it herself. And of course, other ones were dismissed, and then another one was settled. So it's, but I do see what you're saying. It does, she comes across as someone who has basically gotten her way a lot. And she thinks that she doesn't have to play by the same rules, that she's above it all, that she's above reproach, which is why we're probably here to begin with. And then she also thinks that somehow she can just declare that she's the winner. I mean, she says that multiple times in this document. She just declares herself the winner, and that the judge should just give her a win just because she says so. Like, that is, I'm sorry, but no. No. She goes on to say the defense knowingly defended and asserted issues that have no basis in law or facts and are fully and intentionally misrepresented therein. So accusing the lawyer of another crime. Thank you, Good Egg. By default, that basically means it's over, I won. So the whole like attitude that she has is basically like, you know what, judge? I'm just going to declare I'm a winner. So give me a default judgment. So that's kind of like what she's saying here. She just mentioned me today on her live that she has rented out her house, moving her stuff into storage and going on her crime tour for a year. What the fuck? That's on her. But this case is not going anywhere. Neither is the case that she has with Kira and a possible case in the future with SF Investigate. So, okay, sure. Thank you, Crescent. Welcome. Wow. I mean, that's on her. She says these are assertions.
Thank you, Sammy. You do look good in green, Violet. Too bad we can't make a purple.
These assertions, knowingly false, so that you're slandering the lawyer again, and easily disputable, are readily available in the public domain and public forum, specifically on Queen Bee's own YouTube channel, which is available, and it gives a link to Queen Bee's channel. So this whole section is just slandering the lawyer. She isn't mentally right.
Again, it's not slandering a lawyer. It's typical lawyer talk. And considering she has never spoken to QB's attorney, she seems heavily invested. Just saying.
I think that there's, in my opinion, I am no doctor, but in my opinion, this comes across as someone who is absolutely divorced from reality. She says BHB agrees that there is a path forward for combining this hybrid type motion. For the life of me, I don't understand why she keeps putting it in italics or quotations, but whatever. All right. She says, however, it must be done correctly when Queen Bee failed to demonstrate in the pleading, therefore entitling BHB to a judgment by default. So you'll see this a lot. Again, she just keeps repeating, oh, I'm entitled to a win. I'm just going to win. So like, so right, I wrote, I can force.
Obviously not, Reese Cup. Definitely not an expert. Thank you, Allie and Rhodey. Definitely not an expert.
I can't force you to settle. So the judge should just give me a judgment by default because. It's essentially what she's saying.
That is standard asking in a law proceeding. Betty filed the case. Thank you, AMAC. Betty filed the case. So Betty's going to say, I want to win. This is standard stuff. This is nothing to write home about. This is nothing special. This is standard shit.
She says opposing counsel has taken every opportunity to request BHB acquire counsel, so much so at this point could be misconstrued as willful, malicious badgering of opposing counsel and is not well taken. Betty, he's being polite and he's being professional when he says to you, you know what, this is not going well for you. You should probably seek advice from a lawyer. You should probably get counsel to help you before this gets so bad and you are in over your head so much that you don't know what to do or where to turn. And she sees that as malicious badgering. Okay, Betty, how about this? I think you should seek counsel. I strongly suggest that you seek counsel. How about that? BHB is watching screaming, but I didn't just get divorced. Oh my God, that's funny. We don't go real life on this channel. Yeah, we don't do that. Okay, so she says opposing counsel has published all communications opposing counsel has exchanged between each other and made these communications part of the public record, knowing that Queen Bee is using these proceedings as a money grab to intimidate BHB into dropping the case and to cause public humiliation for pressure, among other torts that are damaging. So let's just.
And that is 150% factual. Factual. Here's where Betty's missing it, though. Everything that Betty is saying is true, but the way she's going about it is wrong. And I've been there. I know what she's doing. Because she's on YouTube, because she is living it, she thinks that everybody's going to see it. She thinks that the judge and the lawyer should go look at what QB is doing. I get that, but that's not the way the law works. The law works that Betty needs to actually point it out, and Betty needs to say, hey, this is how, this is what she did. This is what she did. On this day, she did. And you need to force feed the judge and the attorneys like they're complete morons and don't ever know anything. And that is something that most pro se defendants fail to do when they walk into a courtroom. They just assume that the judge knows them. They assume that the judge and the lawyers are going to understand their frustration. But the judge doesn't know Betty from Adam's cat. He just doesn't. The lawyers don't know Betty at all. That's where Betty fails in this. And most pro se defendants fail this way. And the judge is sitting up there like, how did these people think that I know them? How does these people believe that I fucking know anything about them? The judge doesn't look them up. Judge knows nothing about them. But Betty's not wrong in the things she's saying, but she is 100% wrong in how she's going about it, if that makes sense.
Break down that bullshit down. Okay. First of all, her communications with the lawyer isn't private. It's already public. What she's really mad about here is that in those emails to the lawyer, she was threatening him. She was demanding ultimatums. She was screaming in all caps. We read them all together. So guess what? He put it as part of the exhibit to show an example of her behavior. Why she thought her communications in a civil case were going to be somehow confidential I don't understand that. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Violet, I know, but I don't even think that she's assuming in that way. I think it's just frustration. Now, mind you, Betty is a total narcissistic fool who thinks she's way smarter than she is. But, and there's a big but on that, I understand Betty's frustration. It's like trying to explain to your spouse what's going on YouTube when they've never watched YouTube. They will look at you like you're fucking crazy. They will look at you like you have 10 heads. My mother does it. She watches me. She thinks everyone on YouTube has lost their fucking minds. And everyone in the community has lost their minds because she doesn't watch anybody else. She just sees her daughter get mad and scream. But it's if she was to explain to her friends how I make money on YouTube, it would be crazy. Yeah, YouTube only makes sense to YouTube. So she, Betty forgets this, but Burnt Toast is acting like, Betty's out there so far, and she's not. I mean, a lot of people think, yeah, and Pugs called my mom, but people, you know what I'm saying? No, it's just, you got to put yourself in Betty's shoes. She's just frustrated, and she thinks that the whole world's against her. And again, what she is stating is correct. It's the way she's going about it. That's way wrong.
But I love how she decides to sue someone who didn't have the money for a lawyer. And so Queen Bee raised the money for a lawyer, got a lawyer, and now BHB is saying, oh, I'm going to call it a money grab. Okay. All right.
Burnt Toast, come on, call a spade a spade. This has been the most ridiculous money grab. This could have been, this could have been ended a long fucking time ago. They didn't have to countersue. They didn't have to pull this bullshit. This has been a money grab, 150%. Absolute money grab. No questions asked. Sharik, I see you.
Sure. And I love how she's here complaining and saying that the lawyer is supposedly trying to intimidate her into dropping the case, when we see in the emails over and over again that she's the one trying to end the case by forcing Queen Bee into a settlement. So miss me with that bullshit. She says opposing counsel even posted confidential good faith settlement negotiations in the public record, which are deemed confidential under Illinois rules of civil procedure to cause BHB to be publicly pressured into dismissing her claims against the defendant. I'm sorry, they're not confidential. When you are threatening the opposing counsel's law license, that's not confidential. You're just mad because you got caught. And now the judge gets to read all of it. Fuck around, find out. Have fun with that. Welcome, Punky. Welcome to the dumpster fire. She says this intentional and willful action of the defense may be misconstrued as an act of civil intimidation, which it should be.
And I'll also let you guys in on a little secret that I learned in my own case. Judges don't read shit. Judge will have their secretary read it and say, let me know what I need, point out anything I need to know. They don't read anything. Lawyers barely read anything. They're inundated. When a judge tells you, they'll wait to make a decision because they need to look through stuff, they might look through stuff depending on the severity of their answer. But for the most part, oh shit, my 30 days is up. Let me give it a quick look. Yeah. No. Yeah, read and brief them on the highlights.
Oh my God. She says opposing counsel appears to be acting willfully and deliberately in defendant's campaign of harassment against BHB. Dirty tricks are being played. So now she's claiming the conspiracy theory has now grown. Now it's not just me and Blank Screen and all these other channels. Oh, no. Now the lawyer is also in on it. I'm just waiting for the day where she starts saying that the judge is going to be in on it too. Because that's coming. Like at this point, this is, again, completely insane and unhinged. So now she's not only accusing the lawyer and slandering him of all these different things, now she's also accusing him of being part of the harassment.
All right. Let me explain this. And again, I don't speak to Betty, so I might be wrong, but this is how I see it. No, Burnt Toast. She's not accusing the attorney of being in on the harassment. What she is accusing is if you know willingly that she is taking money from her subs and you're filing all this petty bullshit, knowing that I'm not paying for anything, then you're part of this harassment. Don't think that harassment of the courts is not legit, because it is. It happens in custody cases every day. There is abuse by the courts all the time. Betty just doesn't know how to put that into words. Betty doesn't know how to intelligently speak about that, but she's not wrong on what she's saying. If QB's attorney knowingly is getting money from QB subs, he can, by law, file anything he wants to make more money. It's just the way Betty's saying it that's wrong.
So what is she going to add him as a defendant now? Like, that's how ridiculous this is. She says, since the onset of this action, defendant has continued to monitor BHB online and offline through Queen Bee's various friends that Queen Bee has elicited for help, including but not limited to John Doe, aka Blank Screen, shout out Blank Screen, and Jane Doe, aka Burnt Toast, BT. Keeps putting a space on. If you're gonna put my name in a court document, can you not put a space there? I know it's hard, but please. It's just a little things. But I am so honored. Thank you so much. Thanks for the free ads. Love it. One of many examples, the defendant elicit the help of Blank Screen on or about 2022. Betty, I thought you said this has only been happening for a year. Huh?
Okay. To clear this up too, in the original, in the early document, it said October 18th of 2023 and a year before that. So on or around 2022, she's 100% right. Betty is correct. It was a year from October of 2023, not from today.
So now we're going to go back 2 years. All right. She said 2022 specifically to target BHB at Queen Bee's request. The defendant bragged with elation on Queen Bee's channel about how funny it would be to harass BHB on BHB's channel to cause channel disruptions. Not only did this willful, malicious action cause BHB to cancel BHB's scheduled live stream, Queen Bee encouraged Queen Bee's audience to continue the harassment against BHB and BHB's channel, which they have and have not stopped to this day. Okay. So, or I guess we'll get into, because she actually put some quotes here for the first time ever. except they're not things that Queen actually says. A lot of this is stuff that other people were saying in the chat, or it's people on panel that were saying. Again, she's suing Queen. So each and every time that Bullhorn Betty comes up with a distraction by naming all these different people, the question is going to be the same.
Sharik, I don't hate burnt toast at all, but I think she's a little obsessed, but I don't dislike her. I mean, I was listening to her last night, which is what triggered this live.
How does this have to do with Queen? Because you are suing Queen. So if Queen is not saying or doing it, and it's some person in the chat or it's some person on panel who says it, you can't sue Queen for what somebody in her chat says. That's not a
She's 100% right about that.
thing. If that was the case, then Betty could have been sued a long time ago for those mods that she's got that like to dox people. Just saying. Yoper Gal, welcome to the dumpster fire. I appreciate that. She's actually complaining to the judge about blank screen and a piece of burnt toast. I mean, you have to think about this. The judge is not in this like YouTube stuff. Imagine how insane this all sounds to people in the court who have to read this to prepare for the hearings. And y'all imagine. Let's see. So she gives a link. So created May 19th, 2023, had over 7,700 views, and the live stream lasted over 3 hours. And she says approximately 10:03 to 11, Queen Bee starts her live stream after intro saying, so Coffee Club was canceled this morning, which we already fucking knew it would be. We knew it would be when we went to sleep last night. We knew she wasn't going to have no MF and coffee today. Coffee Club wasn't happening today, Jack. And then she goes on quoting Queen Bee's, the things that she said in the beginning. So here's the thing. You cannot sue someone because they're being sarcastic or shit talking you. I'm sorry. You can have a discussion on whether you think it's morally reprehensible, the things that Queen Bee says. You can disagree with what she says, or you can agree with what she says. That's a whole other conversation. But that's not what court of law is for. This is a law.
Again, I agree with her 100%. What Betty failed to do in this is state why that was important. With that, she failed, and she failed big time. Because what she was trying, and this is just a guess, what she is trying to portray is that Queen Bee had her shut down. That's why they knew that Coffee Club wasn't happening. But somehow Betty forgot to add that in. And that's the most important part of this. And Betty failed to do that. So it looks like Betty did nothing. I mean, it looks like Queen Bee did nothing. She just had an opinion. So she seriously failed big time. But in my humble opinion, that's what I think that's what I think she was trying to say.
Lawsuit. You have to actually prove that Queen is breaking the law. So you may not like Queen and you may not agree with the things that she says here, but it's not against the law. If this was against the law, then everybody with an open panel drama channel would be arrested because every channel does this. Bullhorn Betty does the same things, says some of the same exact things about the people that she doesn't like. So exactly. So I wrote here, I said both Queen Bee and BHB have both talked about each other and to each other. It's not against the law. So at one point she says, Queen Bee said blank screen is the troll of the hive. Okay, well, blank screen doesn't say that. He's never said that. In fact, he's always said that he does his own thing. Nobody tells him what to do. Same with me. She likes to say that Queen Bee tells me what to do, and Queen Bee says jump and I say how high. That's not true. I do my own thing. Nobody tells me what to do. I know that she thinks I'm some dumb savage, but sorry to disappoint, but nobody tells me what to do. I am responsible for my own self. So here, she's mad because chats are changing. The people in the chats are changing their name to blank screen. Okay, listen, Betty. People changing your account name to something blank screen or blank screen's second wife, first removed, like all that funny stuff that people were saying. People changing their account name to have blank screen in it is not against the law, and it's not something you can sue for. Also, I find it interesting that she wants people to give her views. So people come in and give her views, and then she.
Thank you, East Coast and Haley. So I am right about that. Yeah, I don't know why she didn't add that in. She should have added that in, and she didn't. And that's a major, major piece. And for some reason, she forgot to add that in.
She gets mad because they don't have the name, the account name that she wants. So she's going to sue Queen because the account names.
Thank you, East Coast. I think that makes it at 8. So we need 2 more to hit 10.
That are in there say blank screen. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, nobody puts burnt toast in the corner. That's right. So she goes on to say, here she starts talking about me. She says, Queen Bee asks how BHB is going to file suit when she doesn't know who Burnt Toast or Blank Screen is, which is true. Bullhorn Betty has said, oh, I'm going to sue Blank Screen. I'm going to sue Burnt Toast, but then says that she can't because she doesn't know who we are. And then Bullhorn Betty says, it is discussed that the way BT does her appeals, BHB can't find out who she is, and it pisses her off so bad. So at first, I thought when she said appeals, I was like, is she accusing me of writing?
Now, let me also state this too. Burnt Toast is not harassing Betty. Burnt Toast is just reading her documents. On the flip side, I think it's overkill in how giddy she gets over it, and her constant support of someone like QB is not someone that is respectful, in my opinion. Just saying.
These court documents, because I hope that she's not that fucking crazy. But then I realized that she's talking about me countering. There are no appeals in copyright, but what I think she means is that I got a copyright lawyer to help me counter all of Betty's false copyright strikes against my channel.
Okay. Burnt Toast, you use the same dollar attorney that we've all used. So to say that you got yourself a copyright lawyer, come on. Like, really? You used anyone that would, thank you, East Coast. You use the same one we've all used before. The guy is like $1 if you even pay him. It's a standard copyright thing. Thank you, Autistic.
So wait a second. So Betty is mad at Queen, and this is part of her big evidence in her case. She's going to sue Queen because I hired a copyright lawyer to fight Bullhorn Betty's false copyright strikes. Really?
Okay, again, you didn't hire a copyright attorney. Come on. Like, let's be real. We already know who you used. The guy's like literally $1. You can find his information online. Thank you, Autistic.
Okay. That doesn't make any sense. Oh, she 100% told on herself. Totally agree. A lot of self-snitching in here. So she goes on to say, at approximately 1:17:18, Queen Bee discusses BHB doing a secret trip and how they're all going to go down to celebrate Summer's Day. So here, this is just her bitching about things Queen Bee has said on her live stream. Again, whether you agree with Queen, whether you like Queen or not, this is not something that's against the law, and it's not suable. So then we get down to here, okay? So she pulls this screenshot out of context. So first of all, when you're going to put something in a court document, you have to put the whole thing. You cannot redact things, and you can't pull something in the middle of a conversation. So already this right here is going to be thrown out because she didn't actually put from start to finish what the conversation says. Second of all,
that is not true, by the way. She can't say that it's going to be thrown out. She has no idea what's going to be thrown out. You're not a judge. So I don't understand why she's continuing to act like she is the judge in this. You don't know if it's going to be thrown out. Odds are it's going to be, but you don't have to put I didn't have to put the whole text message when I was showing text messages, and that was a civil suit. So sorry, I disagree again.
not doing herself any favors here. One, she can't claim that Aileen is helping Queen Bee with this harassment campaign against her, and that Aileen is this evil person that is working for Queen to ruin her life and her channel, but then also say publicly that Aileen is her friend, that she meets with her in person, that she's given Aileen money, that she has gone out to eat with Aileen. Okay, she can't have it both ways. So there's no way of knowing exactly what this full conversation was. But again, whether you agree with the shit talking here or not, that's irrelevant to this case, because the point of this case is, did Queen act on any of this? The answer is no. So I don't know whether she's sitting here being sarcastic. What it seems to me, because she's talking about, what I think she's talking about is JLR or somebody in PA, and she's making an example, like a sarcastic example of why, like, somebody in that situation would never break loyalty. And then she was making the point like, oh, well, Betty's mom is never going to break loyalty with Betty. So if we were to offer Betty's mom money for an interview, she would never take it, just like this other person wouldn't. That's what it comes across as me. But who knows? Because she only put one screenshot here. And then she goes on and lies and says that people are now harassing her mother, which is not true. Okay. First of all,
how do you know it's not true? How do you fucking know who's harassing Betty? It has been proven over and over and over, QB does shady shit behind the scenes. It is proven that QB has people that do shady shit behind the scenes. We all know this. This has been proven. This is not a guess. This is not a maybe. This has been proven. So how do you know Betty's mom isn't being possessed? It isn't being possessed. Nice one. Clip that. But how do you know that? Yeah, how do you know Betty's mom's not being possessed? How do you know that she's not being harassed? You don't. So don't say that, oh, she's not. You don't know if she is.
First of all, Betty's mother is a troll. She spams people's chats. She talks shit. She doxes people in comment section. She's been blocked on my channel. She's been blocked on a bunch of people's channel because she won't stop. She hops on Betty's panel, lies about people, and talks shit. Nobody's bothering.
You're talking about her daughter. I'm sorry. If people are harassing my children, gloves are off. They'll go in there. If my mom was that type of woman, I mean, you have to understand, my mom's like a hoity-toity, Jew from New York. So she's way above all us. But if my mom was like Betty's mom, you don't think she'd be fucking harassing these people? She sure as fuck would. I'd be harassing people if my daughter was on YouTube. I'm not all hoity-toity like my mom. Shit, I'd be the first one in there.
Betty's mom because they're too busy blocking her. Thank you. It was an example, a hypothetical, as in how would she like that, a taste of her own medicine? Well, right. So again, it's the same thing over again. She thinks that just like throwing shit on here to smear Queen because she thinks whatever she's saying is morally reprehensible is somehow going to translate into breaking the law. It's not. None of this is against the law. You can't sue somebody because they're talking shit. Because if that was the case.
And Burnt Toast is right. She's 100% right. But exactly, Haley, the burden of proof is on BHB. You can't just throw this shit out without, it's like putting a bunch of I's and not dotting them, or putting a bunch of T's and not crossing them. You have to cross your T's and dot your I's. You just have to. That's where BHB is failing miserably.
Case, all these people, like literally all of social media would be behind bars. Okay. And so here she goes. However, Aileen, and she doxes the fuck out of Aileen, great friend you are, has come forward and provided to BHB that Aileen did in fact commute to BHB's home. Here's the thing, BHB, you are now friends with Aileen. You're giving her money. You're providing her with a place to stay and food. You're saying that she is your friend. You are praising her on your channel. Aileen has also stated that in fact, Aileen stated this publicly on people's panels, that she does whatever the fuck she wants. Nobody tells her what to do, and nobody tells her not what to do. So BHB can't say that Aileen is her friend, but also say that Aileen is harassing her.
Okay, genius. What she meant was, at the time that this was going on, she was being harassed by Aileen, and that is fact. That's not made up. That is fact. What happens after that has nothing to do with what happened prior to that.
She goes on to say that Queen Bee had full knowledge and support of Aileen, of what Aileen planned on doing. Queen Bee acted in concert with Aileen with full knowledge and was kept up to date and apprised of all of Aileen's findings. No proof of that whatsoever. Again, Aileen has stated herself, nobody tells her what the fuck to do. She just drives places because Aileen is fucking crazy. And anybody who decides to be friends with her deserves what she does to you because she's crazy.
Oh, okay. So that applies to Queen Bee because Queen Bee still talks to her. So I guess that applies. But you're sitting here raising money for QB when you just said anyone that chooses to be friends with her is fucking crazy. Okay.
And then here, Betty tells on herself again. Here she's complaining that Billy Joe called the cops on her, and somehow that's Queen Bee's fault. Did Queen Bee also use Jedi mind tricks with Billy Joe as well? Because Billy Joe called the cops on BHB because of what BHB was doing in front of her house. There was no YouTuber that forced Billy Joe to call cops. And Queen Bee saying no judge will be sympathetic to you, that is her opinion, and I share.
I'm sorry, I disagree with that because it was Queen Bee and her rivals and her screaming and her getting Aileen down there to fucking scream and getting Aileen down there to act like a moron. and kept pushing it, dropping her PayPal link, justifying what she was doing. That is something that for some reason seems to be getting lost in all of this. I think I burped, so I apologize. It seems to be getting lost in all of this. If you justify somebody's behavior by giving them money, then you co-sign that behavior. So she had Billy Joe on panel, but she's not a tragedy pimp. But she had Billy Joel. I keep saying Billy Joel. She had Billy Joe on panel. She was talking to Billy Joe. They were hanging out. They were friends. She contacted her or whatever. She went on Cher's panel to talk about her. Stop, Burnt Toast, because you're wrong.
That opinion, Betty. I don't think that you're going to have any sympathetic judge look at this and say, oh, yeah, you're definitely, you poor thing. Also, I love how she self-snitches here by admitting that she said that she was going to euthanize children. It's not helping you at all. And I thought Aileen was homeless. I think last time I heard, Bullhorn Betty was paying for her to stay at a motel, giving her money, giving her food, whatever, they had met in person and all that. So miss me with the bullshit, Betty, when you're like, oh, Aileen she's like harassing me on behalf of Queen Bee. And then like on your channel, you're praising her as one of your friends. Okay. She says, however, this statement is false as well. Queen Bee is fully aware of, and here she doxes a subscriber who does not have a channel. This person does not have a channel. This person does not jump on panels. They don't have anything to do with Queen Bee. But Bullhorn Betty thinks that this person is not just a member of the hive, but like a really important part of the hive, even though nobody knows who this person is. They've seen them around in, I think, my chats and on Twitter, but this person is not a content creator. She's not doing anything. Betty just did this just to be malicious. She says, oh, and they live down the road from BHB. They don't. They live in the same county as BHB. They do not live on her street. So she's trying to make it seem like she's grabbing some random person that is not like friends with Queen or doesn't talk to Queen, is somehow like spying on her because the person happens to live in the same county. Okay. She says Queen has elicited information from blank, doxing somebody else, on multiple occasions, and blank.
Serious question. Okay. Put a 1 in the chat. If you believe that QB, hold on. Let me make a poll. Hold on. Let me see the end of this poll. 74, 77. Yes, people lie about you. Thank you. All right. We're going to start a new poll. Bear with me. Got a poll. Do you believe that QB would ask someone who lives near Betty to go by Betty's house? Yep. 100%. Nope. Queen Bee is the queen. Never. All right, there you go. There's a poll.
Has provided Queen Bee with multiple photos of BHB, including BHB, to a public hearing at the Manatee County Courthouse for sole purpose of monitoring BHB's movements and reporting information to Queen Bee and the hive. First of all, the person never did that. Second of all, she self-snitched. If it is a public hearing on their county, for their county like stuff, Betty, you realize it's live streamed to YouTube every time they have one of those hearings, dummy? They have a YouTube channel. All of this is publicly streamed on YouTube. So somebody being at the meeting or not being at the meeting, like you don't have an expectation of privacy when you go to those because it's recorded and put live on their YouTube channel. If you don't believe me, I'll give you the link and you can look at all the times Betty has gone in front of that microphone with her face all over the camera. There's no expectation of privacy when you go to a public forum for your county courthouse.
Okay. Let me just point something out to all the assholes that can't keep my name out of their mouth about this. So what Burnt Toast is saying is that anyone can go because this is public. It's a public forum and anyone can go. Very much like an open memorial that everyone can go. I'll just leave it at that. So if I hear one more person tell me from that side how I went to an open memorial, I refer them to this video and what Burnt Toast just said.
Like, do you think that people watching the county live YouTube channel, like the live streams of the county meetings, does she think that means that people are monitoring her because they're watching a live stream? This is what I'm talking about. Exactly. Paranoid as fuck.
Okay. I don't consider that paranoid. I consider that normal stuff. Again, Betty fails though, but has this woman ever been at a public hearing before? Or is this the first one she's at? And if she's at the same public hearing as Betty, then she lives down the road. Not everything has to be literal. So saying I could say that my friend lives down the road doesn't mean she actually lives on my road. It just means she lives in the same area. So I don't understand why she's making this so literal. If she's at the county courthouse that shares with me, that's down the road.
She says, as a matter of fact, Queen Bee was in full contact with this person during and after those court proceedings. Where is your proof of that, Betty? She says Queen Bee fully supported this Hive member following and monitoring BHB's movements offline. Where's your proof? I mean, right, Gray One? I'm stalking you right.
Okay. Here we go again. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I could be wrong. I'm just taking a long shot here. All right. If you know about it, Burnt Toast, and QB knew about this, then there's your proof. If Betty is just making this up out of nowhere, that's something different. But if QB knew that Betty was speaking at so-and-so, why would QB be watching this thing online? I mean, think this through. Why would QB go to Betty's public civic center or whatever it is to watch Betty? Either way, it's harassment. Either way. Because I can't imagine why anyone would want to go there. I mean, that's weird. So, no, she's not lying, Sharik, because Betty knew. I'm sorry, QB knew that Betty spoke at this place. How'd she know? Because someone went there. And if you think for 1 second that QB doesn't do crazy shit behind the scenes, you need to watch some more videos.
Right now, Burnt Toast, along with 1,100 people. Right. So apparently, if you watch someone's live stream, you're now stalking them. Girl, stop.
Why would she care what the live stream was? Just curious. Why would she care if Betty's speaking somewhere? Why would she watch that?
And so here I wrote, it's a live stream where BHB doxes herself every time is on camera, and the county posts the streams publicly to YouTube. There is no expectation of privacy in a public county forum. No one is stalking her. They clipped the county live stream. So this is what happened. She goes to a county meeting, does her Karen thing. It's streamed live to their YouTube channel. So people, subscribers, random subscribers, are like, oh, hey, I saw Bullhorn Betty live at her county meeting today. It's on their YouTube channel. They are clipping the parts where she's at the county meetings, and then they're.
All right, let me say this another way. I don't know how to get this through to some of you guys and to Burnt Toast and QB followers. You guys are all making excuses for it. And I want you to listen to what I'm about to say, and please listen carefully. The real question is why? I have never watched Betty at one of her forums. I've never watched Betty speak at public. The only one I've ever watched was from a clip channel. I don't care what Betty says publicly. I don't care what Betty goes to a forums. I don't live there. I don't give a fuck. Why is she clipping it? Why is it so important to QB to clip it? Why are you watching it in the first place if you don't like this person? That's what I can't seem to get through. You forget the actions or what's good in court or what's not. There is absolutely no reason for them to clip it and for them to watch it and for them to harass her over it or make fun of her. These are grown women. These aren't children. These aren't teenagers. These are grown women. Why do you feel joy in knocking down somebody else to the point that you're clipping their videos that have nothing to do with YouTube, have nothing to do with true crime, have nothing to do with any of it? That's the point I'm trying to make that seems to get lost. And you can make an excuse all day. You can say, well, that's the times. No, that's an excuse. Be an adult. If more people were adults, we wouldn't be in this situation to begin with. That goes for Betty, that goes for QB, but more importantly, it goes for the followers. This is insane. This whole thing is insane. And nobody takes accountability. That's the problem.
They're posting those clips to Twitter, or they're giving them to like content creators for them to review. And she thinks that that equates to stalking and harassment. Girl, bye. She goes on to say approximately 1:57, Betty is laughed at for saying she has stalkers and can't stay at the same hotel and has to change each time. But what she's not saying here is that the reason why people were laughing at her is because there was no stalking. They're laughing at Betty being paranoid for no reason. Like, she is like, oh, I need.
Come on, Burnt Toast. There was stalking. They were harassing her. Please don't minimize what was done. And I am I like Burnt Toast better than I like Betty. But let's not minimize facts. Let's not, really put aside what happened. And Betty was being harassed. I know the feeling. Betty was fucking targeted. Betty was doing her own thing, just her thing. And she got harassed to no end. Let's call a spade a spade.
To go to a different hotel every night because I have stalkers, as if she's some famous person. They were laughing at her because that deserves to be laughed at. It's funny as fuck. Like, it doesn't make any sense. She goes on to complain about blank screen. And she said that basically she's mad that people had temporarily changed their screen names, their account names, to something involving blank screen. So you get more viewers, but then you want to complain about the name they use. Okay. And then she gets mad. Oh, shout out to blank screen. She gets mad because he typed grifter in the chat. Hold the horses, folks. Oh no. Somebody called the FBI because somebody spelled grifter in a chat. Okay. So, right. So none of this is against the law and you can't sue for any of this. So then it says, it is said by Lisa that Betty is a gift. She can't control her emotions, her hands. So I guess she's going after crimes of passion. That's what she's talking about. So God forbid Lisa makes a joke about how Betty can't control her emotions. Oh no, let's sue Queen for that. Like, it's so fucking ridiculous. Then she gets mad because she says blank screen of Christmas just sent $1 super chat and it got deleted. So wait a second. You wanted more viewers. You got more viewers and they were super chatting you and you want to sue Queen for that. Okay. And then she said that Queen said Burnt Toast originally got Betty's criminal record from Twitter and maybe TikTok too. But Burnt Toast has been reviewing her for years. And again, I keep going back to the same question. What part of this is illegal? What part of this can you actually sue for? Nothing so far.
And Burnt Toast is right. Again, however, I go back to what I said earlier. Betty is trying so hard to, like, her brain is going faster than what she's proving. And she's not proving anything she's saying. She's just expecting the judge and everyone to understand. And judges don't understand. They need it laid out for them, layman's terms, as easy as possible. And this is where Betty is failing big time. Big time. Because she's right. What she's saying here is not actionable. But Betty, in Betty's mind, this all proves harassment. In Betty's mind, this all proves everything that Betty is trying to say. It's just not true, though. Sorry, you're not proving anything, Betty. This could have been done way better.
So somebody from TikTok that she pissed off had already posted her criminal record. So by the time I discovered Bullhorn Betty, I didn't have to actually look up anything. It was all over my Twitter feed. It was all over TikTok. It was everywhere. So apparently that's against the law for me to read her criminal record, which is public, by the way, and Queen should be sued for that. Okay. Then she brings up Grandma Sherry, which is super fucked up. She says Grandma Sherry, who jumped up on the panel and said there are 59 blank screens as of today, and she will send Queen Bee a list of all of them. So let me get this straight. You're going to pick on Grandma Sherry because she made a joke about all the blank screens that were in Queen's chat. Really? I know, right? Reviewing people is a felony. You're going to jail. Like, this is just straight up paranoia. Then she says, Queen Bee says, Betty is no fun. She blocked everybody. Yeah, you do block everybody, Betty. That's part of the reason why your channel's not growing.
Oh, Grandma Sherry, you didn't know you were listed in this? Yeah, you were named.
Again, Queen Bee saying that Betty blocks everybody, it's not defamation. It's true. So is blank screen as a god? I mean, right? She's so bothered. She says this shows public coordination and conspiring with multiple people to elicit help to harass BHB and monitor BHB's whereabouts by keeping BHB under surveillance online and offline by publicly defaming BHB. So wait a second. So you're saying that Grandma Sherry and all of these random blank screen accounts are the reason why you're saying there is a conspiracy of people harassing you? Get the fuck out.
See, part of the problem is that all of QB haters should be paying Betty, but nobody trusts Betty. That's the problem. This could have been really good if Betty wasn't Betty. You know, because a lot of people want Betty to win, but aren't willing to trust Betty with money. Me being one of them. Not that I have money to give away, but you guys know what I mean. There's a lot of people like that would pay just to put Queen Bee in her place. However, nobody trusts Betty with money. I don't know why they trust QB, but that's a whole nother ballgame.
Out of here with that. Is Lisa on anymore? Yeah, she was live today. I was watching some of her live stream. She says, this conduct has caused interference with BHB's lawful business and BHB's daily life. Queen Bee's conduct is outrageous, overwhelming, and extreme. Queen Bee acted intentionally, willfully, and with full knowledge. Queen Bee was injuring BHB and causing damage. So now she's claiming she's injured. Okay. Thank you, Brahana. It was a joke that started at Rabbits. Queen didn't make us do it. We dragged her into our nonsense. Right. Here's the thing. Regardless, even if it had come from Queen, it's not illegal and it's not something you can sue for. So now we finally figure out why she's claiming there's a grand conspiracy of all of these different people. She's claiming that Grandma Sherry making a joke about how many blank screen accounts are in the chat equates to conspiring. You're going to pick on Grandma Sherry now, Betty? You should be ashamed of yourself. Wow. Okay. I guess you're super desperate. Tell me again how you think you have this in the bag, because these are the actions of someone who is desperately trying to find something to prove a meritless claim. Thank you, Lori, member for 6 months. I appreciate that. She was injured if you count being incredibly butthurt. Yeah, probably. She's 100% paranoid. Like, if this is not paranoia to the point where she needs medical attention, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, this is beyond just being a Karen. She says, this shows tortious interference with business, perspective, economic advancement, intentional infliction of emotional distress, willful negligence, outrageous conduct, and reckless disregard to damage Queen Bee and her 1,200 hive members. Betty, that was a joke. She doesn't actually have 1,200 hive members. I cannot believe she put that in a court document. So they make a sarcastic joke about having 1,200 hive members.
It's not a joke. She wasn't joking. She was dead fucking serious. This twisted me last night. I was like, I can't even listen to this anymore. No, Burnt Toast. This was not a joke. And I love how this is being spun. And I see that, you not liking Betty is trumping your intelligence, because I used to think you were pretty intelligent, but that was no joke. That was not a joke at all. And you know it. So stop spinning this narrative like it was a joke.
And you think they were being serious? Oh my God. Okay. She says, at Queen Bee's direction, coordination, support, and the director of this target harassment. Target harassment? You mean targeted harassment?
Yeah, that was me that called her out, loved ones.
Are you going to Target? Are you being targeted by Target? Is the dog with the red bullseye coming after you, Betty? Please tell us. Is he chasing you with good deals on socks? I mean, that's crazy, right? Somebody call the cops. Like, that's crazy. Wow. So apparently Target harassment campaign towards BHB and BHB's YouTube channel. Okay. On or about December 5th, 2023, a few of Queen Bee's channel members decided it was wise to call in a swatting call to BHB to the Manatee County Sheriff's Office. First of all, it was not a swatting call. I don't know why she thinks that she can just lie, but no, it was a welfare check. And again, I will say the same thing that I said in a couple pages later, okay? Whether you agree with the welfare check or not, Queen Bee didn't have anything to do with it. It was a person who acted on their own. So she cannot sue Queen for what someone else did, okay? She says, was the caller, and she doxes the person who calls, was the caller of the swatting call and loyal member of Queen Bee and part of the hive. As far as I know, she isn't. And those Queen Bee list.
As I'm listening to this last night, the one thing that kept going through my head, why do you know so much, Burnt Toast? Why do you know so much about Betty's life? I don't even know if Betty was swatted, if Betty had a welfare. I have no idea. I don't care about Betty's life. So I don't look into Betty's bullshit. Why do you know every single aspect of what happened to Betty? It's fucking weird.
And those Queen Bee elicits for assistance to harass BHB. Okay, first of all, the person who called, and again, it was a welfare check, it was not a swatting. The person who called is claiming they are a mandated reporter. If they are really a mandated reporter, they are legally required to call when they see something like that.
See something like what? What was she doing? Overcooking steak? I mean, really, what was Betty doing that warranted that call?
That person acted completely on their own. That person has spoken publicly, taking responsibility for it, saying, hey, this is what I did. I did it because I'm a mandated reporter and I called it in independent of anybody. Nobody told her what to do. She just did it on her own. She now can't come back. Betty can't come back and blame Queen Bee for that. But I guess hashtag blame Queen Bee for everything. Okay. She says their sole purpose was to get the police interaction recorded on body cam footage that could be requested through FOIA to humiliate BHB. Queen Bee was aware of this. Are you going to prove that, Betty? Because Queen Bee and the rest of us, we didn't find out until after it had already happened, and it was all
Burnt Toast, because QB has never done anything shady behind the scenes. She's never incited anyone to do anything behind the scenes, right? She's just so innocent. I'm sorry. I don't believe so. I just don't.
all over YouTube. And Betty, you did a community tab post telling everybody about it. That's how I found out. She says, but blank made a fatal flaw in her personal information, and her personal information was captured by Manatee County Sheriff's Office. Okay, dummy. Again, the person is claiming to be a mandated reporter. A mandated reporter, when they call, they have to give their name. Okay, they're required to do that. They didn't do that as a mistake. They did it because that is their job to do. That is what they're claiming. Also, Betty, I find it very interesting that
Now, I don't know about the police, but just because you're a mandated reporter doesn't mean you have to give your name, as far as I know. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure I'm 100% on that, but I don't, maybe the police are different, but I don't see why you'd have to give your name as a mandated reporter. Certain things are confidential, but maybe I'm thinking CPS.
the person who actually was bragging about getting the body cam footage and the FOIA request was actually Emmy and Sinner. But here you are blaming Queen. I find that rather interesting. So yeah, she doxes yet another sub because she's mad to get back at Queen Bee. She says, which identified the culprit of this hoax. Okay, well, if the mandated reporter had abused her position, she would have been arrested. She would have had that privilege taken away from her. Okay, the fact that it wasn't taken away from her and it was taken very seriously means that it was not a hoax, because this is what really happened. The mandated reporter called dispatch and said, I'm a mandated reporter. This is
Time out. Now you see my frustration right there. This is what I've been dealing with for years, and I can't seem to get people to get it. So thank you for understanding.
what I observed myself in real time on a live stream. The dispatch said, send me the link. I want to watch it. The dispatch watched the video and said, I'm going to push this through because it's hitting certain points and I'm required by law to now report it. They reported and asked for a welfare check. It was dispatch that decided whether it was valid or not. That is what happened. But of course, we're going to get down here, and Betty was ever so careful to black out all the places where the dispatch was making that determination. This is not something that you are allowed to do in a court document.
Okay, again, I'm not 100% correct on this, but I don't see why it's illegal that she blocks this out if it has nothing to do with the case. I think this is actually pretty fucking smart that she blocked it out. Because this way the judge doesn't have to try to find all the other shit. So I have no idea what Burnt Toast's talking about, that this is illegal. No, it's not. I mean, granted, maybe she should have highlighted it. I could be wrong, though, but I don't think I'm wrong. I don't see why that would be illegal.
If you post something to the court, you are not supposed to be redacting it. I did the blue redacting because she doxed herself again. But these black squares here, Betty did that. That's in the original document prior to me redacting it. You are not supposed to be uploading redacted receipts to a court. You cannot do that. Because my question is, what did you cover up? Why are you hiding it? Interesting.
Because it has nothing to do with anything, right? I mean, that's my guess. But I could be wrong.
Right? And she says, after blank was exposed as a caller, begged for Queen Bee's forgiveness. What? When did that happen? She says BHB filed a criminal complaint. There were no complaints found, by the way, against blank for a paper trail with the blank police department in blank where blank resides.
Again, I point out, how does she know? Did you call the police? Are you calling every aspect to find out if there were police? Like, that's not something that would be on private record. That's not something that was on YouTube. That means you actually had a call to find this out. Why are you this invested?
However, no charges will be filed. That's because the person is probably actually a mandated reporter. Okay? Right. There another person on YouTube that Betty is just magically making a Hive member and a close associate to Queen Bee. Right. When they really aren't. Did you mention me, bruh? Apparently I did. Right. So then you actually look at the screenshot of her supposedly begging Queen Bee. So Queen Bee here is replying to someone else. Queen Bee says, look out for terroristic threats. She was talking about what the video was talking about. She wasn't even talking to Petunia. It doesn't even make sense. So here, Petunia.
If you're talking about me, yes. If you're talking about this live I'm playing, absolutely not.
Is in Queen Bee's chat saying, hey, Queen Bee, I hope you aren't angry with me. And Queen Bee's having a conversation with somebody else. This right here is basically worthless. This doesn't even show anything. So here, she later, after it's clearly a welfare check, she later claims that it's swatting. Right. Okay. So this is what I'm talking about. This is not going to be allowed. This whole thing is probably going to be stricken from the record anyway, because she wasn't allowed to file anything else.
How did she? Why is she so invested? I don't get it. I don't. Burnt Toast, help me understand.
She only gets one response, and she already responded. She wasn't even supposed to be filing anything until they get to the next hearing. Queen Bee was talking about an entirely different thing. Exactly.
Okay, now she said she never spoke to the attorney. She has never spoke to QB's attorney. So how do you know? How do you know what she's allowed to file? Maybe she got special permission. Maybe she wrote I mean, you don't know everything. Maybe the lawyer said, yeah, submit it. Who knows?
Queen Bee didn't even have a clue who Petunia was at that point. Neither did I. Didn't know who she was. But apparently,
I know Petunia.
we're all besties with her. Okay, sure. She says BHB made no mention of this situation during a live stream or otherwise. That is a lie. Y'all remember the stream that BHB did where she's screaming that somebody swatted her? Or the community tab post that she posted claiming that somebody called the cops on her? But apparently, we're all crazy and she didn't do that. She says, yet John Doe, aka Blank Screen, and or others working on behalf of Queen Bee from a prior arrangement.
No, there's a Petunia that's an actual sub. I think that's who she's referring to. I think.
Okay, sure. Was monitoring BHB's movements as part of a Hive member, as Queen Bee previously indicated. Lie. Again, the first person, and really the only person that I was seeing from the very beginning talking about getting a FOIA request was Emmy and Center. But she conveniently leaves them out of this.
No, I don't think that Burnt Toast is obsessed with BHB. I think she's obsessed with this lawsuit. And I said that she never really harassed Burnt Toast. I mean, she never really harassed Betty. So no, I don't think she's obsessed with Betty, but she's obsessed with this lawsuit.
Interesting. So this is a screenshot of the call that BHB made about the car on her street. So this is what happened here, okay? BHB saw a car drive down her street and was so fucking paranoid, she assumed it was a hater from the interwebs. Must be one of Queen Bee's Hive members. So she called the cops and said that there was a suspicious vehicle outside of her, like driving down her street. So the police show up, they investigate. You know what they find out? He is dating, or he's like the spouse or girlfriend or fiance or somebody. He's like the boyfriend of somebody who lives on Betty's street. He has nothing to do with YouTube, doesn't know who any of these people are.
How does she know this? Why are you getting FOIA requests for this? This is where the obsession comes in. Like, this is the obsession. Why do you know all this? I don't get it. I truly don't get it. Why are you getting FOIA requests for fucking Betty's bullshit call?
He just happened to be bringing his girlfriend some dinner or picking her up or dropping her off. He was going to his girlfriend's house. But Betty, to this day, claims that it must be a hater from the Hive. Okay, right, all right, sure. And of course, this is one of her mods that sent her a screenshot. And let me tell you, I don't know who encouraged her to write this document. Y'all, whoever it was who put a battery in her back and said, hey, you should write this document, it's a good idea. You either are just as stupid as she is or you're setting her up. Because this right here is probably going to hurt her more than any of the other things that she has posted thus far. I mean, the fact that she's in here threatening the lawyer, threatening the judge. Wow. Wow, Betty, you got some great friends here. So she posts a link and she says, please see this link at timestamp 1726. Queen Bee has created a bully channel. So she's like implying that Blank Screen's channel is Queen Bee's bully channel. Wow. Okay. She says Queen Bee elicits help from and publicly encourages others, including Queen Bee subscribers and members, to cause harm and damage to BHB as outlined in the FAC. Wow. So apparently, if any of you who are part of the Hive also are content creators, apparently you're all stupid and you need Queen Bee to tell you what to do. She's got, mind control powers over you, and she tells you what you can and cannot post on your channel. Got it. Okay. She says all issues, damages, harassment, bullying, and or other torts, as outlined in the FAC, BHB has dealt with and currently dealing with came from Queen Bee creators Queen Bee has elicited help from, such as BT and Blank Screen, and Queen Bee's group of followers that Queen Bee publicly encourages to harass BHB. Wow. Okay, so isn't it funny how like 2 months ago she claimed that JLR was the one who was doing all of this? Y'all remember that video that she conveniently deleted? Yeah. Well, a lot of people got a copy of that, and that is going to be used against her in court because here she's lying and saying, oh, no, it's been Queen Bee the whole time, except it hasn't, because every 5 seconds she changes who the quote enemy is. It's crude AF. It's me, then Blank Screen, then Queen Bee, then Blank Screen again, then me again, then Queen Bee, then SF investigates. Oh, it's JLR. Oh, no, wait, it's me again. And then it's Queen Bee again. And here she's saying it's just Queen Bee. No. Because we have her on camera saying that JLR is responsible for all of this. Okay. All right. Got it. She says, even if Queen Bee can no longer control what Queen Bee has created, but for Queen Bee, BHB would not be dealing with this level of harassment and bullying, among other claims alleged in the FAC.
Sinner, exactly.
Does she have contracts saying all of you guys had dealings with? I mean, right? Where's the proof? Because it's like she doesn't understand. It's Optim's razor, okay? Instead of just saying, maybe, just maybe, I'm a terrible fucking person, and there's a lot of people who don't agree with my behavior, and so they are deciding on their own to not like me and to have streams reviewing me and calling me out. Oh, no, that can't be the answer. No, because there's no way that this amount of people would not like her unless it was Queen Bee using her Jedi mind tricks to make them not like her and make them do all the things that they're doing. Which one?
Burnt Toast. If you can't see the power that QB has, you're not looking hard enough. And I know you're thinking I'm crazy right now, but go into her chat And look how all the people that love Jonesin all of a sudden hate Jonesin. All of a sudden. If QB says she doesn't like someone, all of a sudden her chat doesn't like them. If QB says she likes someone, all of a sudden they like them. If you can't see that, open your eyes a little wider, because I'm not saying she has pull with like Betty subs, but she absolutely has incredible pull with her subs.
One do you think makes more plausible sense? Because again, I know she thinks I'm some dumb savage over here, but I do have a mind of my own. Nobody tells me what the fuck to do. And you know what? Queen Bee has never told me what I can and cannot do on my channel. And the first day, if she were, I don't think she'd ever do this, but if she ever were to do this, you know what I would say? Fuck you. That's what I would say, because nobody tells me what to do. So the idea that she thinks that somehow Queen Bee has some kind of power over me to control what I say, how I think, what I believe, what I post on my channel is absurd. Exactly, Patty. Apparently Queen Bee took over for Dragnot. Now, if y'all know the reference, there you go. She says also, John Doe, aka Blank Screen, shout out to Blank Screen again, which Queen Bee identifies as the Hive's troll. That's never been a thing. Has sent BHB harassing emails over 60.
Burnt Toast, that is proven. It's been there. Burnt Toast, QB has said that on a live.
Harassing emails have been sent to BHB after the initiation of this lawsuit. This number does not include a blank screen sent to BHB's mother, channel moderators, and other family members of BHB. What she's not telling you here is how it all started. Yes, I'm a meanie poopy head, Burnt Toast. Yes, that's right. She's got shit ninjas and Jedi mind tricks. Okay, folks, that's how she's doing it. Boom. Just told all of her secrets. You got me. What she's not saying here is what happened, because she goes on to complain about the emails that she's getting from Blank Screen. Notice what she's not showing here. Yeah, she's not actually showing the emails. She's just showing them one after the other, after the other, after the other. This is how it started. She falsely struck Blank Screen's channel, abusing the copyright system. And when that happens, YouTube gives you a choice to either email them to ask them to take it off. YouTube tells you to contact them, or you can just counter. Blank Screen emailed her and said, can you take the strike off my channel? You're abusing the copyright system. Betty then started emailing, threatening emails to him, and thus the shit talking back and forth began. They both talk shit to each other. They both have been emailing each other for months. I know, because I've seen a lot of them. And if she wants to say that she isn't having this like an equal back and forth with him, she's a fucking liar. Because not only has she been talking shit to him, but she's been talking shit about me and about a lot of different people in those.
Let me also state this. If a guy hits his wife continually and beats the shit out of her, just because she fought back once doesn't level the playing ground. Just because she wrote or they go back and forth, do I agree with it? No. But that doesn't level the playing ground. It's no secret that Blank Screen has harassed the fuck out of her, as he did to a lot of people. Let's not act like Blank Screen is an innocent. Blank Screen is a victim in all this. Bitch, please.
Those emails. And if she calls me a liar, I will fucking show the emails. She has threatened people in those emails, threatening to sue people, threatening to dox people, threatening to go after people. She is not innocent in this. Again, they are both emailing each other.
Again, I'm going to say, why does Burnt Toast have emails of Betty and Blank Screen? Why is she that invested in this? Just curious. Yeah, Blank Screen is a real lifer, but, you know, it's all good to Burnt Toast, you know, because she calls out LOL cows. Get the fuck out of here.
But I ask you again the question from the very beginning. What the fuck does this have to do with Queen? It doesn't. This is a personal beef that she has back and forth with Blank Screen. And Blank Screen says, notice she isn't showing her replies, but bitch again, think again, and y'all think she nasty out here. She's psycho via replies. Yeah, I've seen some of them. Blank Screen has sent me some of the emails that she's been sending back to him. They are equally talking shit to each other. She is not some innocent victim here. But again, when you put this kind of thing in a court document, you're supposed to be showing the email like the lawyer did with her. You're not supposed to be just showing like the subject line. BHB wasn't lying. It would be easy to file the evidence because she's already have it. I mean, correct. Exactly. This is like all the times where she claimed that Prude AF was sending her sexual harassing emails, claimed that she had hundreds and hundreds, and the lawyer was like, okay, forward them to me so we can look at them. And she wouldn't do it. Then they get to court and the judge is like, where are the emails? And she's like, oh, I don't have them, Your Honor. And then it gets dismissed. Yeah, kind of like that. Exactly, though. That's another good point. She won't block Blank Screen. Instead, she just replies back to him over and over and over and over. Right. Then she gives a definition of trolling, and I'm like, okay, Betty, then you're also a troll. And Betty was just live. I think it was yesterday. She was in her car, and she was basically bragging about how she loves to troll people. She loves to troll and target, and not target, troll and trigger people. So I'm like, oh,
Just because Betty is a troll doesn't negate blank screen. I just can't for the life of me understand how she can stick up for blank screen. And she's obviously good friends with him. Now all of a sudden blank screen is a good person? Really? I'm sorry, maybe I missed that memo.
okay, well, so you get to troll people, but God forbid somebody else does, and I'm going to sue them. It's still not a suable offense. It's not illegal. Is the judge required to read all of her documents, talk about torture? Yes, he has to read all of this. Crash Cooter Coop, thank you so much. If Queen Bee's community is the hive, does that make yours the bakery? I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, so she just lists the emails. So this is interesting. So notice how she just suddenly blocked some stuff out. Betty, what you hiding? Because this is all just blank screen conversations here, Betty. Yeah, these are all, this is you going back and forth with blank screen for several months. Look here, 8 replies back and forth, 3 replies back and forth, 5 replies back and forth. Betty, I thought you said you weren't talking back with him. Look, 7 replies, 4, 4, 2, 5. These are you and blank screen going at each other back and forth for months. And then these, you don't want any.
Let me state this, self-aware. I don't have a problem with Burnt Toast going through the documents. That's not where my problem with Burnt Toast is. My problem with Burnt Toast is it's very one-sided, and she's denying all of the stuff that QB has actually done. She's denying all the stuff that that blank screen has done, and all the real life stuff blank screen has done. That's my issue.
Anybody to see. Wow, that's interesting. I wonder what you're hiding. Crazy, right? Because if you're going to show it and you have all this evidence, then why are you blocking out the parts of the evidence that you don't want to show? That's weird, right? Because you know her emails don't look like this. She actually typed in blank screen as the search bar, and all of these came up. But these, it's probably 1, 2, 3, 4 emails are all blocked out. Interesting. Thank you, Patricia Stell, gifted 5 memberships. Kelly Ford, Glinda, Liz H, Purple Dot, and Little Ray of Sunshine. Welcome to the Dumpster Fire. Julie A gifted a membership. Thank you so much. Oh, and welcome. Oh, great one. Gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much. Banana, Bicycle Seat, Lori Fuller, 21 grams, BJ Marshall, Julie A, Terry LB, MN Greg, and Lori Fuller. Welcome to the Dumpster Fire. BHB didn't show the 10 emails she sent me harassing me. Isn't that interesting, Petunia? And she certainly didn't show the emails of her, threatening to dox and sue me either. Crazy, right? Interesting. So very interesting. Perhaps we could be croutons. I don't know. I haven't even thought of a name. 21 grams, get to 5 memberships. Thank you. I appreciate that. T. Berry, Virgo Away, Nina Bina, Dixie Wrecked, Watcher. Welcome to the Dumpster Fire. I appreciate that. Yeah, so interesting, right? And then she lists more emails. Oh, look, here you replied to him 12 times. 12 emails back and forth. 7, 2, 9, 2. Oh, here's 2 more emails you blocked out. Wow. Interesting, right? Okay. Still not showing the emails and not showing her replies back. I love that. Oh, more emails where you replied back to him 3 times, 2 times, 2 times. More emails blocked out that you don't want people to see. Interesting. So let me get this right. You tell people to email you, to reach out to you before making an opinion about you. And then when people email you, you claim that it's harassment due to Queen Bee. Okay. All right. So I would suggest just not emailing her then.
Okay. I think what Burnt Toast is missing in this, we have, you are not entitled to nothing. Stop bullying lies. You should be ashamed of yourself. You will lose the LOL suit. Like, what he's saying is harassment. And I don't know why she's skipping over this. All his titles are harassment. Straight up fucking harassment. And a judge will not like it. Projection much. SF Investigate's gonna own you. Where's my free something? Aren't you embarrassed? Griftification. This is fucking harassment. Straight up harassment. And the judge will not like that.
Publicly acknowledged on multiple occasions being the author of said harassing emails. Of course he has. But you're not being honest about the emails that you're sending him that are just as bad.
Here, another one says, you're a pedo supporter. Stop deleting comments like a coward. This is harassment. Really, Sharik?
You two have been talking shit to each other and y'all are grown-ass adults. Y'all do what you want. I am not your mother. I'm not going to tell people what to do. But for her to be acting like some innocent victim here is stupid. It just doesn't make sense. She says Queen Bee has publicly targeted a private person, Bullhorn Betty, for no other reason than to harass BHB for content, for money, for notoriety. BHB is a public figure. Whether she likes to admit that or not, she's a public figure. But in this case, it doesn't matter whether she's private or public. She still slandered Queen Bee, and there's still a counterclaim. Wonder what she will do when Queen Bee's attorney calls the people BHB names as witnesses and subpoenas all the emails. I have no idea. No idea. Yeah, I don't.
100% right, Wispy. BHB has absolutely been stalked, people driving by a house, harassed, everything these people do to creators they're jealous of. Look who's still racking in money on Betty's name. Several people are. Amen. Betty's not. I know that feeling.
I don't want to hear about that guy. Let's see. She says Queen Bee positions herself to be the head gangster, the Don of YouTube, and why Queen Bee refers to herself as Escobar and OG. According to many, you must ask the Queen for permission to make money on YouTube. If you do not comply, Queen Bee and her 1,200 Hive members will try and destroy the person and their reputation.
That is 100% correct. 100% correct. Whether Burnt Toast wants to admit it or not, Betty is dead on with that.
Betty, are you okay? Are you having a breakdown? Like, this is bizarre. So you're taking somebody's bit on their channel, like the same that I say that I'm a piece of toast and I live in a toaster. Please don't think that you actually think that's real. First of all, she doesn't even have 1,200 members. That was a joke. Somebody was being like, they were joking around about that. And you think that people have to ask Queen Bee for permission to make money on YouTube?
All right, Sharik, this is the last time I'm going to say this, okay? This is the last time I'm going to say this. And last time I'm going to address this. Betty did not start this. Betty started the lawsuit, but let's go way back. Let's go way back. Betty is the one who was doing her own thing. Burnt Toast was the first one to read her record. Burnt Toast was the first one to out everything about her. Nobody else but her. When she went down to Quentin Simon's house, she wasn't bothering anyone on YouTube. She was doing her own thing. Whether you agreed with it or not, she was still doing her own thing. You didn't like it, turn it the fuck off. Plain and simple. I didn't want to hear it. I was getting headaches watching it. I turned it off. Didn't watch most of it. Because that's what normal people do. That's what normal adults do. But Queen Bee and crew got on this bandwagon, and it hasn't stopped since. It is absolutely the biggest fucking joke I've ever seen. This whole tragedy pimp thing, it's the biggest fucking joke I've ever seen. But guess what? I don't watch anyone that talks about it. I don't deal with it because I think it's a fucking joke. And I know a lot of my people think it's a joke. So we jumped off that train a long time ago. Long time ago. But this shit, Betty's not wrong on what she's saying.
Does she think that YouTube is this tiny little community and that's it? We're not even a 1% of a 1% of a 1% of all the channels that are on this platform. Queen has what?
Sharik, last time, I promise, and then I'm not addressing this shit anymore. It is not, there is no righteous police on YouTube. She wasn't bothering whole neighborhoods. Everyone in that neighborhood joined along with her. And if you didn't like it, then turn it off. The neighbors could have done something. They participated. Just stop.
What, 15K subs? That is tiny on this platform. I can't. Like, this is a lot of crazy. She says Queen Bee has a past behavior and reputation of doing these actions to others as well, online and offline. And then she gives a link. And yeah, she's being intentionally obtuse here. But here's the thing. Even if Queen Bee did claim that she's these things like for realsies and wasn't being just like sarcastic, you cannot sue for this. Like, this is not illegal. If Queen wants to call herself the fucking, president of the United States on her channel, you can't sue for that. You can't do that. It's not against the law for her to claim whatever the fuck she wants to claim as her tagline or her YouTube handle on YouTube. Well, right. Remember when she was convinced you were a Mr. than a YouTuber's wife, delusions are strong. I mean, right. Whatever. So she says at marker 1936, Queen Bee starts yelling at people sending BHB money in the form of super chats. Queen Bee goes through all the reasons money shouldn't be sent and claims BHB lied when BHB said she lost her wallet. And if you send money, you're stupid and fell for her grift. You can't sue for an opinion.
Bark at the moon. And you fell for it? You really fell for that? That wasn't a dead girl. That was QB. She just lied to you guys as usual. That came out later. That literally came out later. But that wasn't a dead girl. That was QB's record.
And it's my opinion that you are a grifter. So there's that. You can't sue somebody because they say that you're a grifter. Sorry, you can't do that. And then she lists another link. And she brings up another sub for no reason. Doxes the fuck out of them. She says, a panel guest shows support of BHB at 2:58. Queen Bee gets a bit upset at panel guest, which has sent BHB a super chat asking for a memorial fund to be set up. So she just brings up random shit from her panel and claims that she can sue Queen Bee because Queen Bee got mad at somebody on her panel. That doesn't make any sense. I mean, right, Pro Charlotte? That was such a funny joke. Oh my God, that was so funny. And again, I say this again, regardless of how you feel about Queen Bee or about the panel guest or about what happened that day on the panel.
Sharik, and for anyone else in here that doesn't see logic, let me explain it, okay? I'm going to explain this. So you're going to tell me that what Aileen did didn't upset the neighbors. What Aileen did was 10 times worse than what Betty did. And I'm sorry that you don't see that. But that seems to be lost in all this. Aileen was louder than Betty. Aileen was worse than Betty. And I have told Aileen this. So don't sit here like Aileen had no fucking part in this. And they all contributed. They paid Aileen. They did stuff. So do yourself a favor and stop embarrassing yourself by Betty was loud. No, Aileen was louder.
Panel, it has nothing to do with this lawsuit. She is bringing up all of these people to try to distract the judge, and it's not going to work. So she lists another live stream. This is supposed to be her evidence of Queen Bee stalking BHB. When all this is basically gossip. It's her gossiping about Queen Bee having falling outs with people on a panel. And it has not, like, they're not talking to BHB.
And yes, I agree with that, Kappa. Two things can be wrong. They were all wrong. That's why I don't appreciate people only putting the blame on Betty. No, Aileen was just as bad, if not worse. Well, if you're going to say, Sharik, my point is, if you're going to say that, BHB was disrupting the neighbors, well, so did Aileen. That's my point. Aileen was louder than Betty. And with a bullhorn.
It's not being done to BHB. She says, BHB is not discussed at this point, but shows that Queen Bee actively plays a part in blank by sending videos, links to content, live stream videos for other Hive collaborations to create videos to go with Queen Bee's narrative. So here she's bitching because subscribers, she's doxing another sub here. She's bitching because subscribers are sending clips to Queen Bee. Are you telling me that BHB's mods are not sending her clips of other people's streams? Get the fuck out of here if you think that's not happening. Again, subscribers sending clips to content creators is not illegal. It's not against TOS. It's not something you can sue for. She's just bitching. We're on page 15, and she's still bitching about stuff that has nothing to do with her lawsuit. She says, this shows that Queen Bee is the head.
No, Wispy, honestly, nobody sent her there. Did people keep her there? Yes, but Queen Bee did not send her there. Either did Savage. I know, I'm like the only one that's fucking honest about all this. Can you imagine QB sticking up for me? Never. Never happened. Savage? Never happened. Said I should just let people run with lies like they would, but I have more class than that.
Of the bully campaign against BHB and in the drama community, and works with others to go against other creators, not just BHB. Exactly, Mystery. Queen Bee's relationship with other friends or former friends, it's none of Bullhorn Betty's business. It has nothing to do with the lawsuit. And again, I say this again, whether you think Queen Bee's actions are morally reprehensible or A-okay or somewhere in between, it's not illegal. I feel for the judge. I do too.
And again, what Betty did in Quentin Simon's case was not illegal, but people seem to have a real big problem with it, but it wasn't illegal. So how can you say one's illegal and one's not? No, neither one were illegal. I agree with Burnt Toast. None of this is proving what Betty wanted to prove, but I get where she's going with it.
Like, this is insane. She says it shows Queen Bee's affiliations and how Queen Bee pushes others to create content. Where does it show that? So a subscriber sending Queen Bee a clip saying, ah, ha, ha, this is so funny, watch this. That's Queen Bee pushing that person to make content. Again, you are acting like Queen Bee has all of these powers to force all these channels to do all these things. She says Queen Bee's narrative Queen Bee pushes others to create content to play on Queen Bee's channel and supports Queen Bee's narrative by sending them links to live streams at specific timestamps. You're mad because people send Queen Bee timestamps? I'm sorry, how can you sue for that? This is crazy. And I love how she thinks. Like, it's not the simplest answer. It's not that you have clip channels and other commentary channels creating content that they want to create on their platforms. And then Queen Bee saying, oh, that's a funny video. I think I'll play that today for my audience. No, no, no. Can't be that. It has to be somehow some weird reverse, some upside down world where Queen Bee tells Tiger Talks and Burnt Toast and Blank Screen and all these, like, Queen Bee tells all of these people what they can and cannot put on their channel and then uses their videos for streams. Girl, what? 1,200, I mean, right? No evidence whatsoever, by the way. No proof of that. And she just bitches more about timestamps.
You're right, no proof, just like there's no proof or receipts. Because you're all fucking in on the scam, if you want my honest opinion.
Oh, here's another one. I'll debunk this one. So at one point, she says Queen Bee says she doesn't feel BHB does any good, and Queen Bee doesn't like them with panel guests. Okay, well, Queen's opinion about BHB is not suable. That's her opinion. Just like BHB says that she doesn't like Queen Bee. Okay, Queen Bee can't sue BHB for that either. See how that works? And here she's once again bitching about her sleeping in the car with Dolly. Well, Betty is the one who told everybody that. No one would have known if Betty had not announced it on her live stream. Nobody would have known. She's the one that was laughing like it was hysterical that she slept in a car with Dolly and just laughed and laughed and thought it was just so funny. It was just a funny story that she wanted to tell about her and her friend. So then other people started making jokes about it. So now she thinks she can sue for it. Doesn't work that way. Frenchie, thank you so much. Not going to lie, if I was a judge, I'd be waiting on the next comedy episode too. Whole lot of sitcom. Oh boy. Let's see. Betty, you look weak as fuck. I mean, right. Because here's the thing.
If you follow the rules of protesting, it's not illegal. But I'm going to shut this down in a minute. We'll pick it up tomorrow because I said I was going to do like 3 hours because I knew this was like really, really long.
Had evidence of something suable, she would have put it in here, but she doesn't. So here she has Queen Bee's chat with Boston Nick making a joke about hey, we're bumping uglies during that. And then somebody says Dolly and Betty will leak a whatever tape. like, again, these are comments in Queen Bee's chat. You can't sue Queen Bee for what her chat says. You can't do that.
Hybrid Pieces, you made the lawsuit. But I agree with her. She can't sue based on she can't sue based on chatter stuff. She just can't.
There's someone in the chat that is here to defend BHB. Maybe she can come on panel. She seems to be offended. You're more than welcome to email me and I have a discussion with you. No problem. My email is bttoasty@protonmail.com. It's in my description, all my stuff. I'm going to continue to review this because I feel like that there are some people that do not want me to continue reviewing this tonight. So, but yes, Justice, you are more than welcome to email me. I'd love to have a conversation. If you're doing true crime and then speaking on someone doing true crime, then tech learn our lingo. When we say boots on the ground, this is harassing her. How do you define your words? I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm not a true crime channel. So I don't know who you're referring to here. I'm not a true crime channel. Queen Bee is not a true crime channel. Bullhorn Betty is the only one in this scenario that claims to be a true crime channel. So, but yeah, I don't do true crime. I'm a commentary channel. I do locale commentary. So,
then take a look in a mirror. If you want to see true LOL content, look at your friend Queen Bee. I mean, come on, burnt toast. I really thought you were smarter than this.
Maybe you're confused or something, but you're more than welcome to email me, and I would love to have a discussion with you. Let's talk about it. So again, Queen Bee is her defendant. So she's not suing these random people in chat. She's suing Queen Bee. So she is yet to show where Queen Bee is actually breaking the law. So then she.
Okay, I'm going to explain this. Exactly, Lacey. But I'm going to explain this because I guess she doesn't know. I don't know. To us, we understand how this works. But what Betty, in my opinion, again, it's just my opinion. What Betty is trying to show is that Queen Bee allows all of this hate and Queen Bee allows all of this harassment. So again, I understand Betty is not explaining it right. She's not doing it right. But at the end of the day, that's what she's saying. She's saying, look at her chat. Look at what her chat is doing. Look at how she allows this in her chat. If somebody does not know YouTube and somebody doesn't know how it works, that's exactly how they're going to see it. And they're going to see maybe there's some merit to this. Again, why are you allowing all of this hate for someone in your chat? These are grown women. These are grown men. Why are grown men and women talking like this? Again, somebody that doesn't know YouTube. So I understand why Betty's putting it in, and I absolutely understand Betty's thought process. She's just going about it all wrong.
Gets into more bullshit. She says Queen Bee even goes so far as to show animated production of Dolly Vision and BHB having sexual intercourse and showed it to Queen Bee's audience and directed people to the creator's page. Okay, first of all, there was no sexual intercourse showed in a video. Like, that's against TOS. If that was shown, then the video and the channel would have been long gone by now. So what she's doing is she's conflating, and then she says that Heels is the creator of the animation. Not true. She's conflating two different situations here. One, there was a video that Heels did where towards the end of the video, there was a clip, and it was a Family Guy clip. It was the Family Guy, and then it was the I think it was like the Asian woman who's like the news reporter, but it was a clip from Family Guy. It wasn't Bullhorn Betty at all. So I'm not sure why she thinks that she's in like the Family Guy cartoon, but she.
Good night, Tony. And Narcos, I agree with you.
Isn't. Then there was another channel called NewsTubers, who I don't even think makes content anymore, but she makes animations about everybody. She's done one on me, done one on probably 100 other content creators. And it's funny. Like, she makes fun of everybody. It's really, really funny. It's very well done. And in that video, you have Bullhorn Betty, Dolly Vision. And
see, this is where I have a problem. Stop saying that grown women making fun of other grown women is funny and hysterical. This is the part I can't get past. It's not funny and hysterical. Stop making fun of other creators. Let creators do their own thing. All of this, oh, it's so funny. No, it's not. You're not 12. This isn't fucking high school. You don't need to make fun of other creators to make yourself feel better. This whole mentality is something I will never, ever understand. I'm sorry, but I won't.
and I think a third person sitting on a bed. There was no sexual intercourse happening, and it was funny. But again, Heels is not behind that NewsTuber account. That's a woman from Australia, so not even close. This is in no way slander. No, it's not. It's just her being butthurt because she can dish it out, but she can't take it. If you'd stop timing me out, I haven't timed you out. I think somebody just timed you out. You guys don't have to time her out anymore. That's the first time I've actually seen you timed out in here. Maybe you should stop commenting on true crime channels. Then because it's slander, defamatory, it looks like the only time I see you in my feed is when you speak about Betty. Well, Betty is a locale, and she's one of the people that I speak about on my channel. But I guess
She's a locale. What about QB, burnt toast? She's not. She's all of a sudden an angel. What the fuck? I can't with this.
missed the last 2 streams that I did when I was talking about other people, but it's all good. Again, you can email me. I'd love to have conversation. It seems like you're not getting that I don't do true crime. So for you to think that I should get back to true.
You don't do true crime, which is the point of Betty does do true crime. Why are you speaking on Betty? That's the point that troll was trying to make. And I'm sorry it went right over your head.
True crime really doesn't make sense. Thank you, Mo. BHB gets very sourdough about animations, right? Who would have thought that she actually thinks that she can sue Queen Bee because Heels put a Family Guy clip at the end of a video? Sure. Okay. So then she says this goes outside the bounds of decency. Okay. Because she said that she slept in a car with Dolly. She said that in her stream. And then she wants to get mad because people were making fun of her for it. So here she goes on and talks about pump and dump, where people were making fun of that. So Betty is being incredibly dishonest here, claiming that people were saying that she was a pump and dump. That's not what they're saying. They were calling her a pump and dump because pump and dump was the name that Betty had given Dolly's ex-girlfriend, or I guess the girlfriend at the time. So people were calling her the same that she had called that other person. But again, people in the chat saying that is not something you can sue for. So she'll say things like, then it is said, trying to make it seem like the Queen Bee is the one who said it, but in reality, it was other people on the panel. Exactly, good egg. Yeah, if you want to comment on someone commenting on someone who says the comment is on true crime. Right, exactly. Yeah, civil discourse is welcome. So yeah, don't time her out anymore. Yeah. So I went to the link here and she says that pump and dump was pinned to the top. I went to the, 3-hour mark. I skipped all the way to the 6-hour mark. Whenever it ended, it was the StreamYard link posted to the top. Okay. Again, I'll say this for the 50 millionth time. Whether you think the comments in the chat talking about pump and dump or whatever, regardless of whether you think that that's morally reprehensible or not, doesn't have anything to do with this lawsuit. And people are conflating those two things. If people in the chat are saying it, if people on panel are saying it.
All right, I got a challenge for you guys. And we can convene tomorrow, but I got a challenge. I want all you guys that, is all for what's going on, self-aware, barking at the moon. I want you to give this to a friend, a spouse, a kid, an adult kid, and ask them their takeaway from this, all the things that Betty was saying in there. I am really curious to know what an outsider would think, because that's how a judge is going to think. Is an outsider going to look at this and say, this is harassment? Is an outsider going to look at this and say, I don't even understand this? Or is an outsider going to look at this and say, I'm sorry, but this girl was being harassed. She's proven this is being harassed. I am curious. I'm going to do it myself, but I really am curious. I'm curious to see what an outsider is going to think of this, or what an outsider sees with this. It's a little challenge to everybody. Because I honestly, hearing this again, and I hadn't gotten this far yesterday, but hearing this again, or I'm sorry, not hearing this again, hearing this now, I sometimes wonder how I would think if, I would say everybody's very immature, but does Betty prove a point? And in certain ways, I think she does. I see where she's going with it. I see where she's trying to go with it. I just hope she can pull it off. I really do. I told my son about this. He thinks it's harassment. But I'm saying, like, to read it. If he actually read it and knew nothing, Like, I'm going to give it to Dayton later. Dayton's very smart, but I'm going to show Dayton this, and I'm going to ask him what he thinks. Because he trolls. I mean, they troll gaming channels all the time. My son, the troll. But he's also been trolled pretty heavily to the point that I got involved. But yeah, there's another 2 hours of this. I got candles to make. And my mom yelled at me because her friends want all of the food candles. So that's what I'm making too. Orders. Like Grandma Sherry, your order is going out Monday. A couple of other orders are going out Monday. They'll be going out all week, depending on when you ordered. We got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Valentine's Day's candles will be on site this weekend. They're already made, shipped out next day, so you don't have to worry about the 2-week hold time while it cures. I've been making more candles at once, so some of them are ready to go. But all the Valentine's Day candles will be ready to go. Unless you want to customize. That's another story. But yeah. Yeah, make Laura work. So, and my mom's yelling at me, why aren't the food candles on the website? I said, because I haven't put them up yet. I got to get pictures and stuff. So, yeah. So just to let you guys know. And this weekend, I am going to do some kind of special for Valentine's Day. I just don't know what yet because I got to finish all this other stuff. Now I have to order more wax. I know, right? But that's why you get a candle, because you don't need a Valentine. You just don't need a Valentine. That's all. Done. All right, but let me get out of here because I do have stuff to do. Will you have a time to make? Yes. Every time someone orders a candle, I make it that night. And then it cures. I do want to start making them ahead of time, but because I offer so many, I'm afraid like that I'm going to run out of wax. Even though I buy 44 pounds of wax at a time, it goes fast. I go through probably 2 or 3, like over 100 pounds a month. So, and then when I have to make one for pictures, but yeah. But then someone else gave me a better idea for pictures though. Just use like, leftover wax, candles. Doesn't matter about the color. I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea. Oh, you ordered the peach one for Valentine's? Sweet. Shit, I forgot to put my jewelry back on after surgery. So, all right, I'm going to get out of here, though, because I do have candles to make. But I will see all you beautiful people later. They can just buy me the candle for Valentine's and leave it on the door. There you go. That works. Buy myself candles, buy myself flowers. Add that to the song. I'm the same way, PB&J. Joy, how are your candles? Thank you, Amber. How are your candles, Joy? Yarn, when are you ordering candles, Yarn? You're due to order candles. All right. So I'm not going to be on live later because I have candles to make and I got pictures to take. Oh, I just made a rhyme. Candles to make and pictures to take. I love it. But yeah, I got to get these foodie ones on the website. So yes, I still have fresh scent linen. Fresh linen. I have smoke eater fresh linen. I have cotton. I don't think they're on the website yet because they're more of spring and summer. But yeah, I actually just ordered some. I have cotton and iris. I have laundry day is a new one. I have smoke eater something and cotton and hibiscus. I got a few different ones. I'm glad, Lacey. I got to make more. I don't have any more. I have like, probably about 20 left. But what I also putting together wax pods. I just ordered the cases for them. I'm switching around the wax melts they're going to be a lot cheaper too. Because I'm going to be selling them by the bag for like $12 a bag. So and I'm not sure how many wax pads fit in it, but we'll find out. But those are coming. I haven't put on the website yet because I don't have the bags yet. Toward a candle, I just said it never gets. How could you not get around to it? Silly. Don't forget members. Lacey, you're gonna kill me because I forgot to tell you this. Members get a discount. Members get 10% off by putting in members 10. I always forget that. But yeah, members get a 10% discount with any order. You just put in members 10 and that gives you 10% off. All right. I'm sorry, Lacey. I forgot. I forget Patreon code all the time too. Laundry Day does sound, it is a good smell. I made some the other day just because it's brand new and I wanted to test it. So, and I have more scents coming for spring. I think I'm going to change scents around once a month. It could have been me. I donated 5, Tammy. Posted it. Yes. Crystal, I've been good about it. Every time we get new members, I have posted it. And then they go in there and nobody talks. We need to get Discord better. You guys love typing in chats and nobody ever types in Discord. I don't get it. I feel so lost. Let me do that right now. So Crystal doesn't yell at me while I'm making candles. Hold on. Because Crystal yells at me a lot. If you didn't know, she does. I have been good about it. I'm going to do it right now. Hold on, bear with me. All right, so Crumley's verdict is waiting. I forgot where I was for a minute. I'm like, what am I looking for? All right. Done. Link is posted on community tab. Not guilty? I don't think she should be found guilty either. The discount code doesn't work? Hold on. What is it telling you? Hold on, Tasha. I will find it. No, because I'm glad you told me. Let me see why it's not working. Oh, sweet. We got a few orders. Yay. Discounts. Member 10. It's showing active. Member 10, all capital letters. The only way it doesn't work is if shipping, which is another thing I need to change. And if you sign up for the, I think it's member 10. Hold on. Yeah, it's member 10, no S. Yeah, it's member 10. There's no S on the end. MEMBER 10. Yes, I'm going to start doing Facebook giveaways because I don't have enough reviews. I got to build up social media. And So I'm going to be doing giveaways on Facebook and Instagram. We got big changes coming. Got my little social media marketing manager, and not my daughter, who's going to help me with all of it. So yeah, it's member 10. Should I make another one for members? Let me see. All right. Hold on, Tasha. I'm going to change it to make it easier. All right. I changed it to members 10 to make it easier. So now there's an S. Hey, Hybrid. Now there's an S on it. Because I guess most people will put in members instead of member. And if you sign up for the guest list, Discord's free as long as you're a member. If you sign up for the guest list on the website, you're going to get a 20% discount this weekend. If you sign up for the newsletter, I mean. Yeah, Tasha, now it's members. So go do it and make sure it works. Just because I want to make sure it's working. And I also noticed something. And I think I'm right. If you ever get a notification when you try to buy candles that says, your address doesn't exist, from what I'm seeing, it's because you're trying to combine discounts, like free shipping doesn't work with another discount. I have to fix it on certain ones, but that's why you're getting it. So I noticed that was a problem. All right, so members 10, I just changed so it will work on shipping discounts. All right. I got the discount. It reached its usage limit. Is that what it says? All right, hold on. I didn't know there was a limit, but hold on. I'll create a new one. Make it automatic. Members. All right. Sub. Lives matter. All right. All right. Okay. Subs lives matter. No, we got it. Here's the code. Easy to remember. Subs lives matter. 10% off. And I'll even throw it out there because it is Subs Lives Matter. Any sub, I'll give you a 10% discount for now. For this weekend only. But again, sign up for the guest list, sign up for the newsletter that you don't get a newsletter. But I may put one together eventually. But yeah, the code is Subs Lives Matter. All capitals. Tasha, let me know if that works. Subs Lives Matter. It's true though. Without subs, we ain't got shit. But again, sign up for the newsletter, you get 20% off. Probably Saturday, tomorrow, Sunday. Yes, I have candles to make. Busy, busy, busy. And I got to do Phoenix's taxes. Yay. But that's, I know there's a lot of shit going on tonight, so that's why I went live early. Why, are you going to miss me, True Texan? Isn't Jones going live later, though? That'll be interesting. It's Friday night, though. I don't really go live on Friday nights. I try not to. Because that's like when everybody goes live. I like being a rebel. She canceled it? Oh, I didn't know that. Jones in? Why'd she cancel it? Wimp? Guess I'll go back to Lifetime. I had my rant on Granny's plant. What happened? You had a rant on Granny's panel about what? See, we missed all the good stuff. Why'd you have a rant? No, that's what they just said. Jones is now not going live. I was looking forward to that. I know, right, Mr. Nobody? I feel like I missed everything. So you missed me. I had a rant on someone else's live. I tell you. I have to watch it after. Sorry, I'm going to get off before Dayton gets home. I didn't think she was. I didn't see one. Yeah, I thought she was. I had a belly full of this shit. I was going to do it yesterday on your channel. Kept getting calls. Uh-oh. Oh, I had a belly full of this shit. All right, I'll have to catch you later. I'll watch it. I'm going to go find some horror movies. Because that's what I do. I make candles and watch horror movies. Weird combo, but it works. But I think I'm running out of horror movies. I think I've seen every damn horror movie known to mankind. I even pirate stuff. And I still can't find one I like. I've seen some dumb ones, but nothing good. So, all right. I will see you beautiful people tomorrow. Have a wonderful night. I'm sure I'll see you around the tube somewhere. Order your candles, energycandles.com. And don't forget, Subs Lives Matter. Spelled out. I'll put it on my community post. And there you go. All right. I'll see you guys later. And thank you guys for super chats, memberships, PayPals, Cash Apps. Believe me, it's helping. I fucking paid my electric bill yesterday. My heating bill from all this cold. Holy shit. I mean, I should be happy it wasn't too skyrocketed, but I'm like, I don't even know how the fuck I'm paying this, but I paid it. But I was like, man. So believe me, all the help helps. All right. I will see you beautiful people later. No, there's a lot of good horror movies on YouTube. I found more good horror movies on YouTube than on Netflix. No joke. And I was so disappointed. Lindsay, are you still in here? I was so disappointed on Good Trouble the other day. It was so lame. I was like, what a boring episode. And I love that show. I think Lindsay got me hooked on that show. So bye, Violet. Bye, Carol. All right. I'll see you beautiful people tomorrow. Peace.